Happy 4th of July, everybody. Welcome to the stream, everyone. I'm Brea Thorne. I need to make that go faster. I hope you all are doing well this evening. I am doing okay. Feeling much better than I was earlier in the week, so that's good. Welcome to the 4th of July special. We're not doing anything differently. It's the same thing that we always do, but it is happening on 4th of July, and you can't argue with that. That's just what's happening. That's not what I meant to do. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. What's up, everybody? Hi. Hello. How's it going? Geez, this hoodie is comfy. And look at this gigantic graphic on it. And high-quality printing. I will say, it feels a little too solid almost. But if you like that kind of thing, the colors are like insane. Look at this thing. Anyway. Okay, so... Librarian Immortal, happy 4th of July to you too. Crash, how's it going? I'm doing good, doing okay. Sailor X and Steve, how are you? Sua, welcome. You were early. Yeah, I'm on time ish. I was only a couple minutes late. I have to be a little bit later, else I mean, how can I call myself a streamer? That's in the contract. Are you buying that? No, not really? Well, it feels right to me. Mike992, how are you doing? Preparing to cook some cheeseburgers. That sounds delicious. Can you please drop ship me one over here, please? Some double doubles. Very nice. Cheeseburgers great with IPAs. In the summer, I'm definitely into like summer style beers. I had my dark beer kick back in the day, all the way to Guinness, you know, where you drink it and you like need a toothpick afterwards. Yeah. And I don't know. I wouldn't say that I outgrew it, but I somewhat lost. I mean, I've never really been a big drinker, no matter what. So if I'm going to drink something, it kind of needs to have a more refreshing thing for me, you know? Unless it's a single malt scotch that's been aged 18 years or something like that. Then it's like, that's not refreshing, but it kind of is in a way. You know, like in a engine degreasing kind of way. And I'll have one glass and it lasts me 2 hours. Alice, how are you doing? Alice Duck, welcome. I hope to it's 2 a.m. here. Well, it's you're another person in the UK. Is that what's going on? Yep, UK. Man, we're getting more and more people from the UK. What's going on? I apologize for celebrating the 4th of July. I mean, I don't. I'm a homebody. I kind of don't like going anywhere and doing anything. I wasn't always that way, but this job takes a lot out of you. And so does, entropy. But yeah. Just asking for an opinion on the PC I ordered. Want to see if there would be any issues. Sua, I couldn't tell you if there's going to be any issues with the PC you ordered. That is up to Chaos Theory, honestly. If you already ordered it, it's a little late to get input, because what if I say it sucks? I'm not going to sugarcoat something if think it's a bad deal that you got. That would be a disservice to you. I won't be mean about it or anything, but usually you want to ask for input before you spend hundreds or thousands of dollars on something, and I've been here for years now, so you got to come anytime. I had Computex. I was off for a few weeks for Computex. Yes, that's true, but I've been back to streaming for 2 weeks now. And we do have a couple of companies we go to for UK viewers. What's up, Travis? How's it going? I will say this, Sua. Here's the thing I want to say. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm not sure I have many options for pronouncing that. But I'm proud of you for having the confidence to make that decision, though. Regardless of whether it was a good one or a bad one, this is a tough industry. It's tough to figure out what you feel certain about, certain enough to pull the trigger and get something. So that's awesome. And I hope my content helped out in some way. I will say there's not going to be a situation where it's like, oh, you could have used this coupon code, because I don't have one with any UK companies. Auctions said something and then redacted it. It said Bray. There we go. I am scrolled up, so it paused. Now I'm catching up. TL Foreman, welcome. Isn't it too hot for a sweater? No. What I do is I like pregame this room whenever I'm going to be streaming. Like I'll turn the air conditioner in the house down extra, make sure there's good circulation in this room, and then make sure it gets nice and cool. And also, if you're just wearing a hoodie, it's not bad. Plus, this hoodie is very comfortable and not too thick. I'm indoors. I'm not streaming outdoors. You know, we live or die by our AC here in Texas. Like, you gotta have good AC. Jedi Kitty. Oh, first time able to catch one of these. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Tech Blacksmith. That's the coolest name ever. I used to never shut up about how I used to dabble in blacksmithing. And I still don't shut up about tech. So that's the 1-2 punch right there. You have your old school and your new school. It's awesome. So what are you, a power hammer? Is that what? Yeah, it's fine. Just want to get an opinion on it. If it sucks, it sucks. Hey, cool thing about PCs, for the most part, if it sucks, you can make it better. That's the best thing about getting into this. If you buy a console and it sucks, okay, that's it. Although most people, like, if you're getting a console, you know what you're getting because everyone got the same thing. But it's okay. Don't worry about it. We'll take a look at it and see how it is, you know? By the way, follow-up ended up getting 4 in New Vegas. Sick. Very cool. And Upheaval, how are you? I'm a sour beer kind of guy. Yeah, so in Texas, a lot of people will drink Shiner, if you're, but Shiner has a strawberry blonde that's like, it's so refreshing. It's so good. I think of BioShock every time I hear 1-2 punch. You talked to me about BioShock. I never got into it, so I don't get the reference that I just made. Thank you. Try to bridge the gap between old and new school PC tech. Very cool. You'll like this, mostly because I'm old. My first PC was a 10D1000. Old PC Nerd Club. Let's go. You'll like this old tech right here. Not old, but somewhat old. This is like when someone tells you that Avenged Sevenfold is classic rock. Okay, this is right here is like an 8-year-old processor, something like that. 2016, 2017. Second gen Threadripper, my first Threadripper ever, and it's second gen. I'll take it though. I don't care. I need those PCIe lanes. Thank you, PC World. We got to figure out when I'm going to do that build. Okay, I can't talk about that. I can't plan that one yet. I got to get a couple more things for it. I got to get RAM for it. And I got to get, not that I don't have DDR4 kicking around, but I need matching RAM. It's quad channel RAM. I want it to all be perfect matching RAM. And I need to get a good case for it. And the N3 Pro 2 is what I have my sights on, and I still haven't reached out to Fantex about that. That's on me. But to be fair, I haven't had my chronic fatigue syndrome meds for 2 weeks, and now I have them. So now I can be productive. You guys saw that the videos for Computex were coming out at a trickle. There was a reason for that. I barely got them yesterday. Took my first one this morning. So it's huge. It's a huge thing for me because I cannot function without it. And I had to try. And you can't force that. It's just like, if the car's got no gas, you can't be like, but you have to drive. No, it doesn't have to. It needs fuel. I like it. Very jealous of the Threadripper, even though it's okay. Here's the thing: It's not just any Threadripper. This is the 2920X, the 12 core. This giant thing is 12 cores, but it doesn't matter for what I'm using it for. You see, 12 cores is more than enough for a streaming and capture PC, right? And lots of storage. And 64 lanes of PCIe Gen 3. It even has U.2 on this motherboard that they gave me. It was from me scrounging through the stuff that PC World was getting rid of. And I was like, you have an unopened Threadripper? But that's a 12. I don't care what it is. It has lanes, all right? I need that. I'll take it. And I'll put it to good use, give it a good home. And you do a great build stream out of that. You know, I've never built a Threadripper system before. I've never even reviewed one. It's perfect. So they've reviewed. Threadripper's like, whatever to them, you know? I remember my main 7950X build in the Enthoo Lux. Nice. Well, that's the thing. That 7950X would beat this thing into the dirt in like, you know, whatever benchmark you want to run. Okay, Cinebench, no contest, none at all. It's not even close. It's about the fact that I would be I'd be running the PC I have now into that machine, streaming from that, running some cameras into it, running so a couple of capture cards maybe. It has a 10 gigabit PCIe card that it came with, so I put all my storage in there. That motherboard does have U.2. You know, it's not about how powerful something is when it's a very specific use case. This is going to be perfect for that. I bet you guys are getting tired of me talking about that. I'm not tired of it yet. So you get to listen to me talk about it even more. Anyway, IPAs taste like bitter pine needles, IMO. Well, I mean, you know, for some people, it's like cilantro. You're not going to like it no matter what. What's up, Angry Beaver? Welcome, buddy. How are you? Happy 4th of July. Honestly, I love both 4 and New Vegas. If you dig the Fallout vibe, 4, there's nothing, I think, critically wrong with 4. There's nothing exceptional about it, though. New Vegas had just better story. It had a better story. Way better story. But Fallout 4 was fun, too. I mean, it had its fun points. It had some cool combat things going on that New Vegas didn't have because it was a much older game. Glad to see you're doing better. Thank you, Sue. I appreciate that. Sue, do me a favor. If you are going to have me look at that system, go ahead and fill out that form real quick. The details don't matter too much. It's just going to get you in line for me to help you out. But yours is probably going to be quick. So I'll probably move you up in the list and we'll get yours done quick, okay? The problem is you can't send me a link. You can't send me a link for your system in chat. It won't allow you to. So what you need to do, if you haven't already joined the Discord, which you'd find linked in the description there in the YouTube chat, join the Discord and just post it in the general chat. Post a link there, and I'll see it there. Artie Nail said, Fallout 4 has exploration nailed. So does your username. Well, research and development nailed anyway. Ha! Get it? Anyway, yes, it did. The exploration was fun in that game. I'd love to do Threadripper build one day, even if it's an older model. Okay, listen. Keep an ear out for that build stream, because this is why I want to do it as a build stream. Look, this build would help me out right now if I just built it right now. It would make my setup here better. I'm holding off so we can all do it, so we can all be there for it. It's like you guys can be there for my first Threadripper build. It's not even that big of a deal because most people aren't going to buy anything like that. But that's the point. That's why it's important for me to share it. It's like going on a joyride in a Koenigsegg. You're never going to own one. I'm never going to own a Koenigsegg, right? So like, but yeah, I'll sit in the passenger seat. Heck yes. I'm glad somebody gets the joke in the handle. Is that what that is? Really? That was a shot in the dark. Complete shot in the dark. But I mean, I totally got it. Yeah, I knew exactly what that meant. That was intentional. Everything I do is intentional, and I never stumble backwards into success. Anyway, I feel like the 4070 Ti Super is going to be the highest value per dollar I can build, getting a pre-built right now. Okay, Docilla. You're on the list, I think, right? Are you already on the list? Anton, checking in on the likes. I do appreciate that. Filled the form last stream. Sua, awesome, cool. Now that I know what yours is, you might have told me on Tuesday, but I don't remember what I said 3 minutes ago. So, yeah, I'll look for yours. We'll get yours done first. Now, guys, I am considering making this a little bit shorter of a stream, not all the way to midnight, maybe to 11 or something like that. Just so I can have a little time with RA. She just got out of work, and then here I am streaming. She's probably going to come in here and do some gaming later on, or she's just going to nap. I don't know, but I'd like to get some, just hang out with her a little bit for the 4th. Sent the link in Discord. Awesome, awesome. I definitely want to see the TR build video. Well, I don't know if I'm going to make a video out of it. It's just going to be a live stream, but the VOD will be there. So, like, you won't miss anything. But it's always cool to just, like, hang out during the build streams because I don't get to build PCs that often. I don't. More often than the average person, yes, but not nearly as much as the average tech YouTuber, PC-centric tech YouTuber, because I'm the only one that focuses on pre-builds. So, by design, I don't really get to do very many builds because I don't focus on DIY yet. Well, also DIY. Not giving up on the pre-built content. That's not happening. That will still be the crux of the channel because no one else does that. So I'm not going to give up on a niche that I alone have on YouTube. Are you kidding me? Heck no. Nice analogy. Thank you. I'm glad I came up with that one because sometimes finding a good analogy can be as hard as like, it can be as difficult as, I don't know, it can be hard sometimes. I'm not in the build list, just looking through the pre-built options. Okay, well, if you want, if you want me to look at them for you, it costs nothing to go through the list. It just takes a little bit of your time for you to ask yourself some questions you should be asking yourself anyway before you spend that money by filling out the form. And then I can take a look at the 3 that you're looking at, I guess. I mean, if that's what you want me to do. Or I can just recommend something to you. Me too, Crash. I'm hoping that I can get all the sponsorship stuff settled, and because I can't produce it until I have. Because the thing is, if I make the episode for storage, right, which was just going to be me talking about storage, which I'd already done some of the B-roll and stuff like that. It was just going to be me talking about storage for 5-10 minutes, how to add storage. But the sponsor was not a storage company. It was going to be Deepcool. So it was just going to be a pre-roll ad. But part of the way pre-built rebuilt is designed is to get rid of awkward pre-roll ads from sponsors by doing this. Whatever we're doing, if I'm swapping fans in the case to improve airflow or redesign the airflow, or if I'm swapping out a GPU or something, CPU cooler. The goal was to have that episode sponsored by the companies whose product I am swapping in that episode. So there's no awkward pre-roll ad. All I do is I say, this video is sponsored. This video is sponsored by, and yes, Deepcool was going to do the air cooler video. Yeah, I was going to say Deepcool. And here we have the Assassin 4, and let's go ahead and install it. We'll see what our before and after numbers are. If it's sponsored by them, I would, I don't have to throw opinions in there because we're going to see what the cooling is like before and after. That's it. It's just, it was perfect. It's a perfectly designed series. And now, but the first 4 episodes were going to be sponsored by Deepcool because those were just going to be quicker, shorter episodes. But I only have the fan one figured out so far. And that's a longer episode. It wasn't going to be the first one. So if I make them the way I was going to make them, where it has no particular product in there, and then someone comes in and says, hey, we'll sponsor it, but you need to use our product. I got to refilm, re-edit the whole thing. Every month, there's been something getting in the way of the series getting started. It's driving me out of my mind. I was supposed to have episodes up in March. I don't think anyone else is saying they can't hear me, Kupo. I've got my audio, my music at a good level. Everybody else seems to be able to hear me. Dave Odell, how's it going? Welcome. Northern Lights, how are you? Money good, Hulk like. Well, I mean, the thing is, we're supposed to be getting these professionally edited, which costs more. Like Cuddles is part of what we do, and he gets a part of what we get. But neither myself or Cuddles are really professionally trained at video editing. I can't. There's a lot of stuff that professional editors can do that I just don't know, and I don't even know where to start learning it. Okay. So we were going to have it done like that because this is supposed to be evergreen content, and it needs to be the highest quality that we can currently film and then get it professionally edited. So that costs more money. So they do need to be sponsored so I can actually afford to make the series as good as I want it to be. I would rather do it right than do it right now. I would rather not do it right now if I can't do it right. That's two ways of saying the same thing. 6 up, half a dozen down. Form filled out and name spelling fixed. Awesome. Hey, it's okay. You're doing wonderful. Thank you, Jedi Kitty. Appreciate that. David A. Cummings filled out the form too. I'm not in the bill. Okay, yeah, I already talked about that. Yo, that'd be hype. I'm not sure what you were talking about when you said that, Travis, but everything I do is hype, so you're probably correct. I mean, not everything. Like when I tie my shoes, it's pretty chill. So there are some exceptions. Okay, so thank you. By the way, Doczilla, I read that and I didn't even register that it was a super chat. Thank you for the $2 super chat. I appreciate you. Every bit of support helps out so much with what's going on right now. Like Computex, I had help for it, but it was still expensive after in the long run. So I appreciate that. Snoozing the Twitch ad for a bit. I love these graphics, by the way. Oh, and Fallout 4. Yeah, it did look really good for especially for the time. Okay, so can I show you guys something before we get into this? Oh, the sweater. Oh, okay. Braythorn.tech, y'all. Braythorn.tech. Okay, I want to show y'all something real quick. Okay, because I didn't get to play Noita on stream, and that's unfortunate because it's a really fun game. I had a lot of fun Sunday before last when I did get to play on stream. I might do that again this Sunday. But I want to show you guys something really quick because this is insane. All right, for those of you who don't know what Noita is, you must not be watching Pirate Software or Oats and Goats or, well, there's still, it came back. It's a decently old game, but it's experiencing a big resurgence, and they've never stopped really updating it. So I'm going to show you guys this real quick because this is nuts. For those of you who were there for the previous stream, I just want to show you this. I was playing this for a bit earlier just to kind of chill and get in the mindset for streaming. Okay. So I wanted to show you, what do you think about streaming Pal World? I don't have a Pal World server. I'd like to do that. I think someone was offering to do it, but I get so many missives. I cannot remember who was telling me that. So I have this. Okay, so check this out. This thing is nuts right here. So I've got these luminous drills, right? And they do this. They chew through terrain. They smoke enemies, but this range sucks, right? And that's because it's double because I have them triggering, like multiple ones, right? Sometimes it goes up to 3. But modifiers on this thing are nuts. And this is my favorite one. The ping pong path. Look at this. It just deletes everything. I mean, it takes a little time, obviously. This is the brickwork. This is some of the hardest material in the game. But like, it's... Oh, I have the machine gun too. I just wanted to show you all this. Like, I've been tinkering with the wand stuff, and it's like so much fun. Let me just find somebody to delete really quick, so just so you can see what I'm talking about. Okay, there we go. Bye. All right, that's it. I just wanted to show you that. There you go. Now we're gonna get to the list. I had the game up the whole time just because I wanted to show you how cool that was. But okay. If you want to see more insanity like that, come on Sunday. We'll play more Noita. I'll die, but then I'll have a chance to do other cool stuff. And that's going to be cool. Unless I play Pal World, but you know, again, I don't have a server. I want to do multiplayer stuff, but here's the thing, guys. When I play Noita on stream, You guys get to affect the game and either make it harder for me or easier for me. And it was pretty. There was a few times where it got a little dicey, and y'all got me pretty good. Not gonna lie, but it's fun. So you should. It's only on Twitch though. I don't do those streams on YouTube. I do these on YouTube because these VODs belong on the YouTube channel because they're mostly about PC stuff and helping out with builds and stuff. So, okay, let's get the list going. Let me bring it up here so we can get into it and take a look at what is what. Bring that over here. And get this going again. Okay, let's get into it. I wish Google Forms had a dark mode, and no matter what theme I put in Google, it never applies to Google Forms. It's really annoying. There's probably something I could do to force it, but whatever. Sorry about your rods and cones. Okay, so where were we? Farther down. Wow, that's a lot of people who joined last time, and some that joined this time. Okay, so from here to here, this is all people who joined the list on the 2nd. Sua, I know you're here. So here's what you guys got to do, okay? Let me actually go back so I can point this out even better. Right here, you see this name right here, okay? Right there. There we go. Everything I do is backwards. It's a little hard. Right there, that's how you spell my name. If you type it like this into chat, it will highlight your chat for me to see, to bring it to my attention, okay? If you put the @ symbol first, it'll help you spell it. So type that in, or input that into chat, and then put "I'm on the list" if you're on the list. And I need everybody to follow those instructions so I can go through here and mark everybody who is on the list right now, who is here, so that we're not... I used to do it where I would like have a queue and I would call out for each person one by one, and there'd be like a block of 5 people who weren't there. And if I spend 5 minutes each trying to call their name and get their attention, that's 25-30 minutes lost just trying to get people to... So no, you tell me you're here and that you're on the list, and then you wait for your turn to come up, and everybody is happy. It's a beautiful system, and the system works. Okay, Shadowstar, you're still highlighted, and you were the last person who had joined. Unless someone else comes in who says, "I'm on the list," and they were like up here, you would normally be first. I do want to note one thing, though. Before you said that, Sua had said, "Hey, I just want you to look at the system I already ordered." So if it's cool with you, it's just going to take a few minutes for me to look at the specs on the system and the price of it, and then we move on. And I make my comments, and then we move on. Doc Illa. He didn't type my name in, but I saw it, so I'll give it a pass. I'll give it a pass. The instructions are simple, everybody. Type my name so it is highlighted, and it's not just for now. It's for if I want to scroll back up and see who said they were here later on. These are highlighted in orange, so it's very easy for me to see. I also like how VATS pauses the game. Yeah, it's like bullet time. It's like their version of bullet time. Well, now, what did I miss? Just a little Noita nonsense, and then we're getting into the list. What's up, Alucard? Happy 4th of July to you. Love Taste says I'm on the list. Cool, cool. All right. I see you there. One of the more recent entries. These are addressed in the order in which they were received, as you might expect. TL Foreman. All right. Now, Shadowstar, I know you waited throughout that whole stream last time. If you're cool with waiting just a tiny bit more just for me to knock this out for Sua, then I would definitely appreciate it. That's cool? That's cool. Awesome. How'd you come up with the name Breathorn anyways? I wanted something with the, you know, the AE symbol? It's in another language. I don't know what it's called, but I wanted to make a World of Warcraft character with that symbol, and I wanted it to be a strong sounding name, and it turned out to be Breathorn. Then I used it, like that name really stuck with me when I used it for a Pathfinder character that I played for 3 years in one campaign for 3 years. And I was like, yeah, that's me. That's who I am. That's what I made it my Discord. I made it my Steam ID. I made it everything because it was every time I made an account with it, I never had to put any punctuation or underscores or nothing because no one else was using it, and it had a nice flow to it. But I will mention, Crash, like for anyone not saying you're on the list, try not to type my name in chat because what it's doing is I'll think you're on the list because I see a highlighted thing. I'm in search mode right now to find people who are on the list. And there goes Cherokee Vapors. Okay. Civic Bandit, how's the 4th going? It's okay. I mean, it's a Thursday, but I don't really go out. I don't really. I didn't have the wherewithal to do any grilling today. I had some things I had to take care of, and I had stream coming up. So, and you know. It can be a fun holiday, but I don't like it. You guys got to understand how miserable it is outside in Texas during summer. If you've never been to Florida or Texas in the summer, you don't know what this is like. It's bad. There you go, Doc. You got it, Doc. I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. Viking roots. Apparently, Bray is like hill, like a hill of some kind. So this is like a thorny hill, I guess. That's what I am. I forget what language, maybe German, something like that, whatever. I hosted a Sparked Host Pal World when it first dropped. Definitely need some bug repairs in the early days. Yeah, it did. It was pretty buggy. Your pre-built review series has helped people financially without a question. I highly respect and appreciate that. I'm about to get a 4-year plus PC for gaming, studio recording, and streaming. And Flight Sim, talk about OP. Hell yeah, that sounds awesome. It sounds expensive, but it sounds awesome. We'll see when we get to your entry there. Okay, so let me open up Discord so I can take a look at your entry there and bring this up in case I have any conversations there that have proprietary information. Because I do talk to some brands in Discord, and sometimes I leave the DMs open, and then it opens up on my screen. I actually had one be like, "Hey, don't show our chat in there if that's okay with you." And I'm like, "Oops." Discord, what do you mean quest available? What is wrong with you? Oh, by the way, the code Breathorn6 for Ready Systems on iBuyPower is working again for 50 bucks off. It wasn't working for a bit. Anything over $9.99, 50 bucks off. But the better discount, I think, is if you do a custom system, because then you get 5% off, and that can be really, 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 really good. Anyway, we're going to general chat, and there is the build. No, don't do that. There we go. Okay. So here's what we're looking at. This is from the AWD-IT audit. They called audit because that's how that comes out in my brain. That's how my brain wants to say it. Audit. You got a PC from some auditors over here. So $1,499, 1,499 pounds, like 1,900 bucks or so, US, $2,000, just around that range. And it has a Ryzen 5 7600 non-X and a 4080 Super. Now, looking at your form here, you would have filled this out, and you were going for 1440p gaming. $16 gigs of memory, though. It's a little unfortunate. Some games are getting more memory hungry. If you want to play any modded games, or like Escape from Tarkov or something like that, it could be an issue. I would have gone with 32 gigs of RAM. But thankfully, RAM is one of the easiest things to upgrade. The problem is you can't really use the kit that's in there. You would just take that out, buy a kit of 32 gigs of RAM, DDR5, 6000, CL30. That's just the sweet spot. I mean, it's not going to make a big difference for a Ryzen 5 7600, but yeah. Let's talk about the CPU and GPU combo. For a 1440p gaming system, this is a little, it's balanced the right way, but a little extreme. Like, you don't need a 4080 Super for 1440p gaming. That's getting into 4K gaming territory. Like a 4070 Ti Super would have been fine. And you could have had maybe a little bit more going on with the CPU, but it's the right concept. The higher you go in resolution, the less CPU stress you're getting there. Like, it's not stressing the CPU as much because there are fewer frames per second for it to mess with, okay? Being generated by the GPU. However, I'm thinking that the 4080 Super might be a bit much for a 7600 if you're not doing 4K gaming. Once you get into 4K gaming, this is probably going to be great. What I like about this, and I'm going to check your answer here. You answered yes. You want to be able to upgrade the CPU over time. And guess what? This is perfectly primed for that because you have Ryzen 7000 series. It looks like a high airflow case, which I'm always down with that. Unless you didn't change any options. Wait a minute. I was just reading this. No, you changed to a 7800X 3D and a 360 millimeter AIO. Okay. Okay, not a fan of the motherboard choice. You got a B650M-B. Now, what that M means is that it's micro ATX. This looks like a full ATX motherboard. Does it matter for a gaming-only PC? In the long run, not really. However, I don't like seeing an M-ATX motherboard in a ostensibly full ATX case. Look at the count of PCIe slots right there. It just leads to an impossibility when it comes to nice cable management. You have some bare case there. It's not long enough to really go to the bottom, to the top of the PSU shroud, basically. There's just unused space in there. That's just a pet peeve of mine. It's nothing deal breaking, okay? But it's not what I would have chosen. I would have gone with this one here, the B650S-S Wi-Fi DDR5. I would have gone with that for that extra 50 bucks. Oh, 50 pounds, sorry. Palette Gaming Pro NVIDIA GeForce RTX 4080 Super. Yeah, this thing is like, getting a 7800X 3D brought balance to the force, okay? You can do anything with this PC gaming-wise. You want to do incredibly high refresh rate, 1080p pro esports gaming? Yes, it can do that because the 7800X 3D, there's not a frame rate it can't handle. And the 4080 Super is really more than most people would ever need, unless you're doing 4K gaming with native rendering of ray-traced graphics and you want to get more than 45 FPS in Cyberpunk. Then it's a little too much. It can't really handle that, but that DLSS 3 is going to come in and it's going to make the frames that it needs to make, and it's going to look really good. It's a very powerful GPU. And you went up to 32 gigs of RAM. You know, probably in chat, you've been correcting me this whole time. Sorry about that. But when I get into this, I'm just looking at this. You got a 2 terabyte Gen 4 drive. It sounds like you've been listening to a YouTuber or something. I might have gone with a 1000-watt power supply, to be honest. They have a very good one with the Tough Power GF3, 1000 watt. Tough Power GF3 is gold-rated Tier A power supplies. I don't know about this Be Quiet System Power 10. I'd have to look it up on the PSU tier list. That's looking like that's it. USB 300 megabit per second Wi-Fi adapter. That's a no from me. No. No. This motherboard has Wi-Fi, doesn't it? It does not have Wi-Fi. If you needed Wi-Fi, you should have gotten this motherboard right here. USB adapters are the worst way to connect for Wi-Fi, period. And because you got an M-ATX motherboard and a giant GPU, guess what? You can't put a Wi-Fi PCIe card in there now. So that's the worst of it. That's the worst news I have for you. Other than that, you made some excellent choices. I love the Fantex XT Pro. It's an amazing value, and it's a great looking case, and it has great airflow. And 4 140 millimeter RGB fans come with it. At that price, it's nuts. You got a great CPU, a great GPU. You have future upgradability with the platform. You got a, like, here's the thing, guys. You see Deep Cool right there? They're not sanctioned in the UK. So they'll still get support. They'll still be able to replace it if need be, get warranty on it, all that stuff, okay? It's just a US sanction, okay? Which is ridiculous in a way, but it's also like, what are you going to expect when that kind of stuff happens? So whatever. We're not getting into that topic until they tell me more stuff. You did good. All in all, you did good, but you did the thing that most people do. Do I have to spend more money on the motherboard? That's the core of your system. That is the backbone of your whole system. If you have a choice to do a relatively inexpensive upgrade, I recommend doing it. What did your total price come out to with these upgrades? Let's find out. No, thank you. No, take me to the basket. $1,887.94. So what is that, like 2,500 bucks? Yes, the memory is 6,000. DDR5 6,000 mega transfers per second. CL36, but that's not the worst. It's fine. It's really the frequency that Ryzen cares about. Yes, it benefits from lower latency, but this is still a good kit of RAM for this PC. But yes, the configuration didn't load. I thought this was a pre-configured system, and I was just reading from here. Okay, ignore me on that. Yeah. Oh, is that what the budget was? 2,500. That is rough. That is rough for what you want to do with it. But we'll get to that when we get to it. Where there's a will, there's a way. I mean, unless there isn't. Swapping your motherboard is one of the more difficult upgrades you can possibly do. It's almost like building a new system. There will be an episode of this show that is how to do a motherboard swap, okay? That's going to be part of this series. But it's not easy. Not at all. You can do it. You can do it. Here's the thing, though. If they're using an OEM copy of Windows, you're going to have to buy a new Windows license. It's like 20 bucks. It's not a big deal. But yeah, it doesn't say whether it's retail. Well, the pricing looks retail to me. So it might just move right over to it. Anyway, that's it for that. That's my opinion. Everything is good. I just don't like the motherboard, and I think you could have done better on that. That's it. But they gave you the option, and you made your choice. It's nothing wrong with that. You prioritize the GPU but the thing is, I would look for a good 4K monitor. They have gotten a lot cheaper, but you're going to get the most out of that system. Well, no, actually, no, because the 7800X 3D is going to handle anything you throw at it. Do whatever you want. You can put any monitor you want on this system. It'll run it, and it'll run it really well. That's what really matters. Not my own little idiosyncrasies, the things that bother me. The Wi-Fi thing sucks, but you can very cheaply get yourself a 100-foot long, sorry, Freedom Units, I know, 100-foot long Cat 6 cable for like 18, 20 US dollars on Amazon here. I don't know what it is in the UK, but they usually come with, look for the ones that come with the little mounting hardware to mount it and run it along the wall, so you can run it over your doorway and things like that, so you're not tripping over it. Run it on Ethernet if you can. Otherwise, yeah, you're going to have a bad time with that USB Wi-Fi adapter. It's literally the worst interface for Wi-Fi. Okay, so I'm not going to move this one over because there's no system recommendation there. I can't really do anything about what you already bought, but all in all, it's a great system. That's my take. Shadowstar, let's go. You waited long enough, my friend. Let's do this. And you were very gracious about me ending the stream when I did last time, because I have a hard cutoff at midnight on my normal streams. Again, guys, I might be ending a little earlier tonight, okay? Um, I hope that's okay with y'all. Just to get a little time for the holiday. Here's a gaming hot take. I love Todd Howard, and I don't think that he lies. I think corporate tells him what to say. I don't agree with that. That is a hot take, and it's a bad take, honestly. I think that he should have changed the creation engine. That did not need to be in Starfield. Starfield did not deliver on the promises he made. I didn't see anybody holding a gun to his head telling him to make those promises. I think he thought he wanted the game to turn out that way, and it just was not coming out that way. TL Foreman, are you taking off? Because you're after the person after Shadowstar. You're after the next person. I mean, the current person is Shadowstar, if you're still here. Anywhere in the South is garbage. Hate summer. Angry Beaver could not agree more. Saying my plans are staying home and taking care of the dog to make sure her leg gets better. Civil Bandit, that's a good move. Honestly, guys, if you have pets that have any kind of sensitive hearing, please be there for them when there's fireworks going on. All right, Shadowstar, we're gonna get yours done. Okay, now I am going to do the same disclaimer that I always do. All right. The disclaimer I always do here is that hold on, that's a little loud, a little hot on the music there. Don't forget that in just less than a month, on the 31st of this month, 9000 series Ryzen processors are launching, going to retail. We don't know if there's going to be any delays. Basically, they said July, and then they pushed it to the end of July to give themselves a little breathing room, I think. But that's launching on the 31st of July. So that's going to mean two things. That's going to mean that, yes, there's going to be new 9000 series processors out there. And that's not going to be for everybody, because there's probably going to be some early adopter woes to deal with, okay? But it could mean a couple of weeks of like, I got to wait for a BIOS update for it to really run smoothly, and then it does. But most of y'all are getting pre-builts, so like you have tech support for that. No problem. But it would mean that you're getting more performance for the money. The other side of that is that it's going to further drop pricing on 7000 series Ryzen processors that are still in the market at a lot of SIs. And a lot of SIs are going to have those 7000 series Ryzen processors. And I'm going to be keeping an eye on those who do and do not drop those prices. Because like, I don't want them to be left holding the bag or anything. That's kind of what usually happens here when new hardware launches. Because SIs buy in bulk. That's what they do. I'm talking way too long about this. Anyway, so the question always is this. Being aware of this, do you want to wait until then to get your system recommendation? Or do you want to just do it now and you're not the type of person that actually is bothered by that? If you're not bothered by that, buy whatever you want, whenever you want, and ignore the haters. Not that there's anyone hating on that, I guess. I don't know. Oh yeah, Sua, no, that is a good price for the 7800X 3D and 4080. I just like a lot of my advice when I'm recommending systems is like, don't cheap out on the power supply, don't cheap out on the motherboard, things like that. You didn't necessarily cheap out on the power supply. 850 watts is within spec for a 4080 super system. You're good, right? It's just the motherboard thing. That's been a pet peeve of mine since I learned like what kind of problems that could actually cause me when it happened to me, when I did it. So I try to help other people avoid that. You might decide at some point you want to stream or something. And I don't know, that you can't really throw a capture card in that system then, not internally. Just little things like that. That may never bother you. It may never apply to you. So, whatever. It's just my opinion. Not bothered. X3D chips probably not going down too much. That's true because there's not going to be a replacement for them. It's only going to be their main product stack. So yeah, not until Q1 2025, probably at CES. That's when they're going to announce those, I'm thinking. Or they'll do an early thing to sort of undercut Intel's launch of their new CPUs. I don't know. I prefer it if it's CES. Let Intel do their thing. Intel is losing in the gaming department. And they make it because they don't have anything to combat 3D V-cache. They just don't. They don't do anything with cache. Anyway, so looking at your budget here, budget of $3,000. If you wouldn't mind, Shadowstar, please let me know what your actual maximum budget is, because these are in increments of $500. You'll see in earlier ones I went through and I corrected whatever it was. So let me know what your total maximum budget is without shipping and taxes, okay? No shipping, no taxes. What's your total budget, your maximum budget for the PC? You cannot change this later. You do live near a micro center, but you don't want to get your PC there, okay? Totally fair. You're looking at iBuyPower or StarForge, and you want it within a month. Okay, so I can't really save you money at StarForge. I have a code there, but all it does is let them know that I sent you there, and it helps out the channel. It doesn't really help you out. I wish they would change that. They don't have anything in place to give discounts through codes. It's just a referral thing. So I don't really use it that much. I like to get you guys discounts if I'm going to be getting anything out of it. It feels weird for me otherwise. I don't like that. This is just a gaming system. You're gaming in 4K. $3,000 is more than enough to do that. $3,250. Thank you for adding to that. All right, that even more capable of doing that. Okay, $3,250. Very specific. And you want it in black. You don't need Wi-Fi. You do want the ability to upgrade your CPU down the line, and we're going to go with my my configurator at iBuyPower. It's been working quite well so far. I need to copy this to like my desktop or something. Keep forgetting to do that. Okay. So this is the system that is going to be the pre-built, rebuilt system. That's what this is. It's the one that's over my shoulder right here, actually. That's just been waiting for me to resume production. I had a backdrop behind this desk right here, which was rolled forward, and I had a backdrop. I was doing B-roll and all that of the system when I had to pause all that for Computex and whatever. Anyway. So the whole point of this system and using this case is that if down the line you want to make any big upgrades that require some kind of familiarity with the case, you can watch Pre-Built Rebuilt and you'll see me doing upgrades in this same exact case, and it's a sick one. Let me show you what it looks like. But you can choose whichever one you want. You don't have to go with this one. But it is a sick case. Like, it looks good. Ooh, we are zoomed in. That or it's just a massive picture. There we go. Yeah, it's a nice case. It's got this RGB element all nicely diffused from all the way down the front and the side. Comes with really nice fans and a lot of mesh that is pushed forward. So that just the fact that there is some glass here, it does not get in the way of airflow. Temps were great on this thing when I got it, and I did a whole stream about it. So that you can go with that case, but you can also choose other ones. There are other cases to choose from here. Certain specific iBuyPower and height ones, but then there's also going to be like, oh, they got the King 95 Pro. That's sick. Oh, that's sick. Hold up. This thing is really nice. If you want that sort of fish tank look, this isn't the best angle in the King 95 Pro. This is not a super expensive case, for one thing, but they still have curved tempered glass. It's just not going to be the like smoothest glass in the world apparently here. It's a little bit, or it's just the way that they have their lighting or whatever, and the angle on the things. The curve is here, so it looks like it's warped, I guess. That's just my perception, I suppose. Anyway, sick case, really, really nice. If you want that fish tank look, great option. And it is $58 more, but it is a lot more case, to be honest. Oh, Sue said you got a $8% coupon on it. That's a lot of percent for my code gets 5% on iBuyPower, and that is substantial for a pre-build for a whole computer. Main thing is airflow, you say. Well, you can go with H7 Flow. Flow is right in the name. That's an option. You want your system in black, if I recall correctly. But I will say the airflow on this is nice. It is good. It's your standardized kind of front intake, top rear exhaust, if you want to go that route. PC is on the 3rd floor, and it can get to 80 to 85 in the summer. What is that supposed to be, hot or something? We get triple digits here, buddy. I was doing this kind of stuff in the garage, and it was getting up to like 140 degrees Fahrenheit at some points, where I would be like, oh, okay, I need something. I just had a fan that would just move air. Like, that's like all I had. Anyway, that's why I'm in here now, doing all my stuff in here. Never got the AC going out there. Never got it installed. You got the Y70 as an option too, if you want to go with a big. Okay, but you said if airflow is the main consideration, H7 Flow or the Slate 8 Mesh Pro, either one. Yeah, ambient room temp. I do get that. Yeah, I get that's what it is. Oh, TL Foreman, I missed when they said they got a work-related call that they need to leave. Come back for Tuesday's stream. I might not be streaming on Tuesday. Only if I make it back into town in time. So keep an eye out for announcements, guys, in case I'm going to miss that one. But I'll just go ahead and do this. This is what I can do. I can go here and remove that highlight. And everyone down here just moved up. So far, right now, that means there's only 4 people who have announced that they're here and on the list. Left over. Wait, did Sua do this twice? Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove this one. Clear row. No, I mean delete row. That's what I meant to do. I don't make mistakes. You do. Okay. Well, we have a $3,250 budget. I'm going to go ahead and go for the higher end H7 Flow case. All right. That's this guy right here. It's definitely pulling that. It's definitely leaning into that rectangular look, but we can, you know, it's fully focused on airflow, and it's a really nice case. NZXT's cases have just like been leveling up year after year. It's so nice to see. So we select that. Now for the CPU, we're going to go 7800X3D because that's what we're going to do. Because why wouldn't we? That's what we should do. Processor cooling is going to be a 360 millimeter all-in-one liquid cooler, and we can. They only have the white NZXT Kraken Elite. They don't have it in black. That's interesting. Other than the 240. Well, we'll just upgrade to the iBuyPower AW4, or I don't know about Enermax. They had some issues like a few years back with their AIOs. But I'm sure, I mean, they fixed that. They must have fixed that at this point. Otherwise, iBuyPower never bulk buys anything that's going to cause a ton of RMAs. Like, their failure rates are well within acceptable numbers. Like, they have to be. They're the largest SI in North America, okay? You could go with the Corsair iQ Link H150i, but then you're not going to have all Corsair fans, and that's kind of a bummer. Let me ask you this. Shadowstar, how much do you care about RGB? If the priority is cooling, how much do you care about RGB for your system? What's up, Kenneth? How are you? Happy 4th of July. A Bray, Steve, I totally missed that. A Bray is a path up a hill in Scotland. Oh, you're going up the Bray to the house. So it's a thorny path uphill. Well, I've never shied away from a challenge, so that makes sense. Not a priority function over form? Okay. All right, so we'll go with the 360 millimeter iBuyPower unit right here. That's their newest one, newest pump, newest fans, all of that. and the performance on it was really good. I got the 240 millimeter in this one. But it's only a Ryzen 5 7600. So that's the default spec. We're going to upgrade your RAM to the Kingston DDR5 6000 right here. CL36, but still, just like on that other system, still good. Wonder what it is on the Corsair. CL40. Ew, gross. 30. Oh, that's because it's the 64 gigs. That's why. It makes sense. Higher capacities can have, if you get higher capacity without spending a lot more, which this is a lot more, by the way, it's not going to be great on latency. And the video card. All right. Another question for you. You're gaming in, you're gaming in 4K. But I need to note, how much do you care about ray tracing for your gaming experience? How much does that mean to you? Brady, change your HUD to purple when you play Fallout. I haven't played Fallout in so long, I don't even remember if I did that. I played Fallout 4 when it launched, and I played it for a couple months, and then I dropped it. Like, it was one of those games that it doesn't have a ton of replay value to me, but that's me. There's probably still people out there playing it. I don't know. You don't care much about ray tracing. Well, here's an option. You can go with a 7900 XTX. And that is the most powerful AMD GPU on the market. It is aimed at 4K gaming. Let's take a look at this here. This is such a useful chart for this. And we're going to look at the 4K Ultra. We don't really look at this one very much. The 7900 XTX in pure rasterized performance beats the 4080 Super. And check this out. Okay. The 4080 Super would be $88 more for less performance unless you turn on ray tracing. Or if you're doing content creation. If you're doing content creation, that is an easy $88 to spend. You get that one, but now, of course, the 4090 is up here. It is the GOAT when it comes to GPUs. It's on top. There's nothing really competing with it. And AMD was pretty clear. We're not trying to compete with the 4090 because not many people are going to be able to buy that. And look at this. You're at 2545. Now, with that in mind, if you want a 4090, you can actually get a 4090. But we got to buff up the power supply. We still have to change the storage. And the motherboard, motherboard's going to be a cheap upgrade. You'll see what I'm going for here. There's one that I always go with, and it's just a good option. Let's get you into a 1000 watt Seasonic Focus V3 for 25 bucks. Very good. And a Kingston Fury Renegade 2 terabyte. There we go. Now, we're above budget, but hold on. That's a 4090 in there. Yo, thank you for the lurk, Beaver. Appreciate you. Happy 4th of July to y'all. Thank you, Kenneth. You want the 7900 XTX? Smoke WCS. I have 4 4090s now. Congratulations, Smoke. What's up? I'm not swimming in them. I have 2. One was being saved for a project that will never happen now. Unfortunately. Let me just see this here real quick. Give me a second. We'll probably switch back to the 7900 XTX if you're wanting to go all AMD. I get that. I just want to check something. I want to see what my code does here. And it gets it to 3379. 3379. That's very close to your budget, but we can still do other stuff. I haven't changed the motherboard, but that's a $19 change. Oh, it's really sad. Yeah. It was an EK project I was going to be working on with them. And it's just, I want them to sort all their stuff out first. And by the time they do, and if they do, and they get sort of back into the good graces of the public and the industry at large, 4090 won't be tops anymore, very likely. I was going to switch you to this $19 upgrade right here for the X670E Gaming Plus Wi-Fi from MSI. It's a rad motherboard. It doesn't go with the whole black theme, but performance over aesthetics, right? And when it comes to this, like, you're going to have more I/O than you would ever need, which is nice. You have 3 extra M.2 sockets. It's pretty great. Still go with the 7900 XTX, absolutely. There you go. $843 saved right there. So what you could do if you wanted to, you do not need to, but you could get yourself a 4 terabyte Kingston Fury Renegade boot drive, and you, unless you buy every game and install a lot of games, have them all on your system at once, you're probably never going to fill that drive up until we're not counting drives in single-digit terabytes anymore for the average system. I could also recommend the Western Digital Black SN850X. That's still a really good drive too. I actually need to look at what the longevity is on those. Does it have terabytes written? No. They should add more info to this. But yeah, I've used plenty of Kingston drives and I've had really good experiences with them. But I also have used an SN850X in the system as well, and it has not failed. Do you want to go bump up to a 4 terabyte drive? I mean, look, we're done. Like, there's really not much more we can do here other than going with like a high. You know what? If you wanted to, you could treat yourself to a Corsair, IQ, LCD. You don't need that. Like, I don't even know. Like, this is plenty of cooling for 7800 X3D. 7900 XTX is giving you that 4K gaming. Like, what else do you need? 2 terabytes good for now? Okay, cool. I love coming in under budget. Great. Oh, wait. I want to check something real quick. What's free here? You can get a free t-shirt. And you can get a free 25th anniversary desk mat from iBuyPower. There you go. You can also get some pretty decent deals on, like the HG10 headset is pretty nice. They have a $5 Canvas analog desk mat and a Mech 4 mechanical gaming keyboard. It's an okay keyboard. And a desk vacuum. Guys, what are y'all doing over there? Anyways, I just wanted to look through that. I was curious as to if anything major had changed. Let's get your URL here. Bam. And I'm going to go over here and I'm going to shorten that up a little bit. I got a question for you guys. I have an opportunity to work with a mini PC company to do a review of a mini PC. Would any of you guys be interested in that at all? I think they're cool. They can be cool for travel if you have a portable monitor and things like that, if you want to not be on a laptop or whatever. But like, is this going to load or not? I need a second for this. 1 second. Yeah, I turned the music up while I was doing this. I wasn't talking about any like really important stuff at the moment. But what would you guys think about doing me looking at a mini PC? Ray Summers, what's going on? Thank you for subscribing to the YouTube channel. Welcome to the stream. Is an SSD with 4K read and write okay? I didn't know it went up to 7K. Oh, they go up to 15,000 now if you get a PCIe Gen 5. Yeah, 4K is usually fine, especially for just gaming. Direct storage is not really a thing, and I don't know if it ever will be. But yeah, there are faster drives. but you got a 2 terabyte. The main thing for a gaming system is that you have enough capacity to load your games and never get to the end of your storage. Sounds cool. I'd dig a mini PC. Me too. I want to check one out. I've never had one sent. I'd be interested to watch. I love mini PCs. Okay. Like, if you look at some of the APUs that have been coming out from AMD, they're nuts. Now, using that code Braithorn6 is going to get you a whopping 5% off, and at a price of, what are we at? $2,733. 5% is significant. That's not a small amount of money. So go ahead and do that. It's you saving money while also helping out the channel, helping me do what I do, while saving money instead of spending. Love to see it. I really like that builder. It is so straight and to the point. It really does kind of cover almost everybody that comes through that wants to get any kind of system. It's really nice. There are some things that aren't covered. Like, we had two different people with $10,000 budgets last stream. That was nuts. But yeah, like, that wouldn't be covered by that builder, but still. All right. Let's see here. Do that. I do this then. And the other. Okay. David, it is your turn. Got it. Thanks. Awesome. Crash, always happy to help out. Best gaming PC for a budget of $2,700. Well, since you refused to tell me anything about yourself and follow the directions in the description of the stream, here you go. $2,733 before discount. Oh, it's because I did that. There you go. Now, Chupapi 2K, if you want to actually get something recommended for you as a specific buyer, you'll follow the same steps everybody else did to get onto this list right here, and you'll wait for your turn to come up and get that free help. Otherwise, there you go. There's a $2,700 system, under $2,700 after that discount, with code Braithorn6. There you go. All right. Now, but yeah, everyone else here has gone through that link in the description, filled out this form here, and they're getting a custom tailored system based on their own needs, budget, use case, all of that good stuff. But if you don't care for that yourself, then you have a system that fits your budget that is for gaming. There you go. David, are you still here? It is your turn. Your turn has arrived. And it shows that you are still here in chat. So let's go. All right, then, let's do this. Okay. Yeah, this is doable. All right. So this is how this works. Chupapi 2K, if you want to take a look at this, this is how it works. So when David filled out the form, they listed when they're going to be purchasing it, when they're hoping to get it, and all that. But it asked if they're near a micro center. For them specifically, they're getting a parts list. Most of these are free builds, as you can see. Yo, Igor, there you are, buddy. Happy 4th of July. Thank you for the 2 gifted subs. That's a tier 1 sub for Shadow Raven and Papa Smurf. Welcome to the Swarm to those 2, and welcome to the stream to you, my friend. How you doing? Say what you will about the creation engine, but it has nice physics. It did for the time. It is outdated. It does, like, if you look at how it runs in Starfield, it's kind of a hot mess. I haven't checked it with the most recent update though, but the most recent update is a pretty long time after the launch of the game. At launch, it was, I mean, I played Starfield an embarrassing amount of time, actually. Well, I don't have much free time, but relative to my free time, it took up a lot of it. So here's what we got to do with this. One of the most important questions here, two of the most important ones are these 2 right here. What are you going to use it for? And David said you're going to use it. You said you're going to use it for gaming and streaming, and you want to do that in 1440p. Okay. Now, normally, a budget of $1,500 might be stretching that a little bit because you have to make sure you have enough RAM and I/O on the motherboard for streaming, and cores in the CPU, all that stuff. But since you're building it yourself, that does save you some money. Make no mistake, that does save you money for those who are on the fence about whether they want to go DIY or get a pre-built. If you're on the fence about that, know that you can save money and get more performance for your money going that route. Just because I cover pre-builts doesn't mean I'm against DIY. I've been DIY for 25 years building PCs. Am I older than I look? I hope so. That's a good way to be, I think. Anyway, so we're going to the Duluth, Georgia Micro Center. Not literally. We're going there on the website. And we're going to see what we can do to get you the most for your money over there. And the downside it is a downside that you do want to do streaming, because if the best way to get the most for your money there is by doing a bundle. But with a bundle, you can't choose your motherboard. And being picky on the motherboard is how you build a good streaming machine, gaming and streaming machine. So let me ask you this. DAC, what is the actual maximum budget for your system? I ask that because, as I like to clarify here, the budget options are in increments of $500. There's a lot of wiggle room between $1,500 and $2,000, so where in between those 2 are you? If there's a little bit extra, that can go a long way at Micro Center. Wait, what? Which store was it again? Duluth, Georgia. Okay. Oh, it's less. Okay, it's 1,400. All right, that's going to limit us a little bit. We'll see what we can do. It's close, though. It's close to what you listed there before. Not too bad. I've had people pick 1,400, and then they're like, yeah, it's $1,200. And that can be even more. Like every $100 in this price range, when you're around $1,000, $1,500, every $100 can make a big difference. So we'll see. Let's build you the best system we can. Let's see what the bundles are and what motherboards come with them. We might as well check it. So I would probably think the 7700X. But it's a B650 Gaming X. It's the V2, yes, but it only has, what is it, 6 USB Type A's? Let's find out. Let's select this and then go look at the motherboard real quick. That price of $419 is pretty nice at this price point. So that's motherboard, RAM, and CPU for $419. Let's take a look at the motherboard real quick and see what kind of 4.3 stars out of over 400 reviews is pretty dang good. And this isn't the worst I've seen at this price point. Okay, you have 7 USB Type A's, 5 of them being faster throughput, and then you have 1 Type C at 10 gigabit per second. So these two ones on the left here, these are the that have the black plastic in them. Those are USB 2.0. That's where you put your keyboard and mouse, in that USB 2.0. And then you can have like your capture card, your say like a CamLink 4K external USB 3 capture card. That would go into one of these blue ports right here. If you have something like a capture card for a console or something that's going to have a higher frame rate, you can go into the red one there, or the USB-C. You got options. Plus, it is Wi-Fi 6E, I believe, and Ethernet, 2.5 gig Ethernet. So let's take a look real quick at what the Wi-Fi is. I don't want to make any false claims here. They just don't label it very well. Networking, Wi-Fi 6E. But when you look at it, it just shows the Wi-Fi 6 symbol, which is really annoying. I don't like that. But hey, it is the better type. That's what matters. You don't want to judge a book by its cover there. So what you do with this is... Hold on, let me find this. I found this before. I can find it again. Actually, maybe they have it at Microsoft. Let me find it first. They got some decent options here. Yeah, let's see. Oh, I don't like that one. It requires external power. It's still probably one of their best options. Okay, check this out. This is actually at Micro Center, okay? So this is a PCIe card that would add in 3 USB 3.0s and 2 USB Type-Cs that are probably also 5 gigabit per second USB 3.0. But the downside to this card is that it requires SATA power. That's not that bad. It's just not great for cable management. Other than that, it's going to help with fast charging and things like that for the Type-Cs probably. My preferred option is this. Oh yeah, no, it's right there. Well, it was there for a second. Check this one out, all right? Look at this. No external power required, and you get more connectivity. Instead of 3 USB 3.0s, you get 5 and 2 Type-Cs. And this would basically go at the bottom of the motherboard, the last slot, or let's actually look at the motherboard and I'll tell you where it goes. Looking at this, it's probably going to go in this one right above it. And then if you get an internal capture card, it goes in here. Now, internal capture cards can be expensive. I don't think I can include that in the budget, okay? What you can look for at first is like you can use your, unless you already have a webcam, you can use your smartphone as a webcam. There are different apps for that work really well, just over USB, things like that, until you get either an internal capture card or an external one, whatever. But one of these slots is where you would put that, probably this second from the last one here, and then here you would put your capture card whenever you got one. All right? Info, lots of info. All right, now we got to figure out a video card. We got to keep this under $1,400. At least there's not going to be a build fee because you're building it yourself. Oh, that's perfect, David. That's perfect because then you just add in more I/O if you ever need it. If you never need it because you're just gaming on it, then you're good to go with this motherboard. Now, let me. The downside to that is this. If you're actually going to be there's a really solid chance that you're going to be streaming, you probably want to go with an NVIDIA card, which costs more than the same performance in an AMD graphics card, an AMD Radeon. Some of the best deals we've done, best builds we've done on a budget here have been AMD CPU, AMD GPU, but I don't think that we can do that here if there's a solid chance you're going to stream. Now, to be clear, AMD Radeon graphics cards can encode for streaming. They can do that. They even have AV1 built in, which helps more if you're streaming on YouTube and not Twitch, because Twitch finally is doing the beta where they're going to be allowing for AV1 encoding, but NVIDIA slipped in there and said, hey, make it exclusive to us, and then we'll do client-side encoding, and it's going to not cost you hundreds of thousands of dollars a month or millions of dollars per month or whatever for the encoding, for the bandwidth, all that stuff. Yeah, it's crazy. The amount, what it costs for bandwidth for streaming platforms is nuts. Twitch, if you're watching right now, YouTube, if you're watching right now, sorry that I'm costing you so much. Anyway, so you can use an AMD Radeon GPU for that, and you'll get more for your money going that way. But with NVIDIA, you have NVENC encoding, which if you're not doing AV1 encoding, you're just doing NVENC. It's a one-click kind of setup, and you get great crispy streams. It's awesome. Ruruchi, what's going on? Happy 4th of July. I see you saying happy birthday, Marika. I'd take a field trip with you, Bray, to a Micro Center. Would you? I would too. It's fun. What if like, no, see, I guess maybe TwitchCon is going to be a possibility, because then there's a Tustin one. It'd be kind of fun to do a meetup at the Tustin Micro Center for TwitchCon. Heading to the next hotel right now. Be back after checking. You got it, Igor. I'm glad you made it safely and everything was good. Been better. Just got to the hotel in Denver. Have no control of the AC, and the fridge is full of the last person's junk. Just booked a different hotel. I get why you're going to a different hotel. Jesus. Chupapi 2K, I'm not helping you at the moment. I'm helping somebody else out. Just let me know when your turn comes up, okay? Anyway, David, looking for a response from you on the stuff I just said. How do you feel about it? Do you want to try to push for NVIDIA here? I don't know how possible it's going to be to still get 1440p high-end performance. Well, it should be possible. I mean, I don't know. Let's look at some of the pricing here. We're going to look for something around the $500 range. A 4070 Super should do the job, and they should have that. So let's do $400 to $500 and $500 to $750, and we will sort by lowest price. Yeah, we want to. I think I would push past the 4060 Ti. I still have this list up here, and it's on the 4K one. We don't need to be looking at that. Let's look at the 1440p gaming chart here. And if you look, the 4060 Ti is down here. The 7700 XT is up here. That's the kind of performance difference I'm talking about. And look at these prices. Okay, 4060 Ti. Oh, there's a 7700 XT for $10 more. And look at that. Look at that jump in performance there. It's crazy. That's 1440p Ultra, less than 80 frames per second on a 4060 Ti. Even with the 16 gig, it doesn't matter. They get the same performance regardless of VRAM. 7700 XT getting up close up to 100. But the 4070 Super is up here, like higher, way higher. So yeah, it's a tough choice. Good with AMD. Let's see if we can try to fit a 7800 XT or 7900 GRE in here, but don't get your hopes up. I don't know if we can do that. We'll give it a try. Let's go price high to low. Oh, one thing I didn't check. You want your system? Yeah, you want your system in black. Okay, good. That's going to be easier to do. Dang, they got a 7900 XT in this in under $700. That's still more. It's still more than we can spend. We're looking actually for something around max $599. 4070 Super, and underneath that is a 7900 GRE. There we go. $599. That's what I was looking for. So between the two, between the 7800 XT and the 7900 GRE, you're talking about it's like going from under something between a 4070 and 4070 Super to something just under a 4070 Ti. It's not a huge jump in performance, but the price jump is very minimal too. Yeah, from $579 for this one up to $599 there. But there are cheaper 7800 XTs. Yo, look at this 7900 GRE down to $549. And yeah, and XFX makes a really solid card. ASRock has their 7900 GRE Challenger for $20 less. There's a 6900 XT. How about that? Okay. That's going to be it for 7900 GREs. Looks like 529 is going to be the cheapest one. So let's limit this down to AMD graphics cards. Okay. And we're going to get rid of this budget option here for the 400, 500, and we're going to switch this from lowest to highest. 7900 XT, 700 XT. What is the lowest price? It's going to be the ASRock 7900 GRE. Right there. 529. Turdog, what's up, buddy? How are you? Debating between 7900 XT or 7900 GRE. Yeah, well, I only play at 1080p, so well, it's you don't need to get either of those then. Unless you're talking about like esports and you're throwing in a 7800 X3D that can actually push a lot of frames. 1080p is closer to is where you need more CPU as well. Like you don't need. I would go 70 unless you get a really good deal on the 7900 GRE. But make sure you get a good CPU in there if you're going 1080p, especially if you're playing competitive. All right, M.2, we're probably going to keep it to a 1 terabyte here for now. If there's any leftover budget, we'll go to a 2. But you cannot beat the Inland Performance Plus 1 terabyte. This thing is nuts for the price. The performance, the longevity, it has onboard DRAM, everything. It is such a good freaking deal. And it's like $139 for the 2 terabyte, but $79.99 for the 1 terabyte is also very good because this is a high-end M.2 drive. Actually, I'm curious. What do they have to say about it? Look at that. 4.7 out of 5 stars, 99 reviews. Yep, the people have spoken. And I am one of them. I've run a few of these. Okay. We're doing good. We're doing good. We need to get our CPU cooler. We need to get our power supply. We need to get our case. So let's talk about the case. All right? David, what's the aesthetic you're going for here? What are you looking at? What do you want to be looking at? Okay, we have about $370 for this before taxes, okay? $370. So, what kind of case has caught your eye? What kind of case inspired you? Do you care at all about the case? Do I just pick whatever is the lowest price one with good airflow and fans already included? Or do you want a specific aesthetic? I wouldn't put this system in like an O11D Evo RGB. You're going to end up spending a lot on the case, a lot on the fans because it doesn't come with any. But there are some fish tank style cases that have fans in them already. So, you tell me. What kind of aesthetic do you like? I will say this. Before you purchase everything, go into Micro Center and go to the case section because they're all out of the boxes there for you to look at. You can get a real feel for the scope, the size of the case, you know, the build quality, how it looks other than these tiny little pictures they put here. Let's zoom in a little bit if we can. Something with fans already included. I feel you there. All right, cool. Do you care about RGB or no? I also need to know if you want to have it be something with like glass front or mesh front. Like, do you want it to really display your system, or are you more about just pure performance? Because you can get great performance out of something like the Montech Sky 2. But that you have to want that kind of aesthetic. Even though this thing is really well priced at $80 with fans included, including 3 reverse flow RGB fans, which is a really good deal. You have the 011 Chrome. That thing is crazy. I have the Pro Art. Maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe I need to talk to ASUS about a Pro Art case for the Threadripper build. Yeah? Might actually make sense for a Pro Art. There's also the H7 Flow with RGB fans included and one non-RGB fan in the back. Oh, you do like the glass look? All right, cool. Let's see if they have the King 95 Pro. Sorry if that made you guys dizzy. My bad. Let's click Montech and see what pops up. They don't have the King 95 Pro, it looks like. That's unfortunate. But they do have the Sky 2. But it shows only one in stock. So here's the thing. I'll pick this one for you, but keep an open mind with the cases. Go look at them on site. Talk to the awesome people at Micro Center. See what they have to say about it before you purchase the case. Brent Brown, happy 4th of July to you too as well. To you too as well. There's only one of you, so that's not what I meant, but to you also. There you go. But yeah, $79.99 with a great aesthetic, with 4 fans included, 3 of them being reverse flow with RGB. It is an awesome case for the price. Let's do a power supply, then we'll do the CPU cooler. Look at how good we did, everybody. We did very good. I might even be able, we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. Let's take off the stupid compatibility filter because it's really dumb. We're going to try for 850 watts. That's in the realm of what they recommend for 7900 GRE. They're like 800 watts. So that's not really cutting it close, I would say, but it's still... Now, we don't need to look for something that says PCIe 5, but the ATX 3.0 standard is not just one connector. There's other stuff to it that helps with the quality of the power supplies, the standards that they're set to. The MSI Mag A850GL, PCIe 5 850, blah, 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 all this stuff. This is a good power supply. It's highly rated. It's really nice, but then it's hard to beat Seasonic. So, like, I think we need to go Seasonic, even if it's a little bit more. Seasonic has one of the best warranties in the biz. They actually manufacture their own power supplies, which most of these brands can't say. They can't say that. Corsair doesn't manufacture power supplies. They have an OEM that makes them for them. When did I turn the music up? Did anyone else mention that? I had my music all loud this whole time. I'm so sorry. Oh, there's only one of those in stock. I never trust it when it says that. They're not good about keeping track of their stock on the website. I can't go with a Seasonic with there only being one in stock. Look at how many of the MSIs they have. And it's a very good power supply. Make no mistake. It is a great power supply. You mentioned it. Well, you did. I appreciate that. When you mentioned it before, I turned it down, but then I turned it back up, and I don't know why. Okay, so we go with an all-in-one liquid cooler. And it's a Montech case, so let's see if there's a Montech one in stock here. Because, yes, they do have one in stock. So, listen, if they don't have this one AIO, it's okay. You can grab any black AIO with RGB fans, and it's going to look great in there. And it fits a 360mm AIO in the top of the case, so you're good. Oh, I was like, what is that sound? It's fireworks going on outside. How patriotic. All right, there you go. There's your system. Coming in at $13.14.94. Meaning you're still going to have $85 to shop around for maybe a keyboard or a mouse or something while you're there at Micro Center. There you go. Maybe keyboard mouse combo, whatever. Yeah, this turned out pretty good. I like it. Very good, I should say. Now, what I was going to look at, I was going to see if I could do a 7800X 3D, but you don't really need to do that. I mean, if you're gaming at 1440p, you don't need the 7800X3D to get good frame rates. It doesn't need to be the best gaming CPU on the market because you're not gaming at 1080p where it really makes a difference. The higher your resolution, the fewer frames per second the GPU is producing. So, what do you think about the Lean Edge power supply? It's an edge use case, so they really named it properly. Okay. David, can you do me a favor? Whenever I get to make these where someone's going to build it themselves, I always really want to see how they'll turn out. And I'm probably going to do a thing where I go through the rigs channel in a video at some point, and I sort of like, not critique. I don't like to make negative stuff. Maybe we could be a little funny, I guess. I don't know. But I'm not going to do a roasting your setups thing. I want to go through and see what everybody got. So when you build this thing and you do your setup and everything, post a picture in the rigs channel of the Discord. Now, what I need you to do, though, is pay attention to these two very important things here, okay? Okay, first off, the link that I gave you, you need to add all those things to cart, or you need to create a Micro Center account and save the build right here. See that? Save this build? Oh, so you can't see it. Right here. Save. Actually, I can show you closer up. Here we go. You go there, save this build, okay? Or you just add it to cart. The problem with that is that we have a couple of things that it only says there's one in stock. Like, let me see. If I hit this, yeah, items contained within the build are not in stock. Crap. What? This right here? It says there's 4 in stock. Look at this. The thing highlighted in yellow. There are 4 of these. Let's get you a better GPU then. Not better, but like a triple fan. GRE. Here we go. And we'll go with the XFX AMD Radeon 7900 GRE right here. There you go. It's still within budget. The power color one's good. Both of the power color ones are good. The ASRock ones are both good. This one should work. Let's try adding it to cart and see what happens. Add to cart. Oh, now this one. I think it's just going to do this to you no matter what. What the hell? It says 4 of those are in stock too. All right, we'll pick each one until we get to something that sticks. Power Color makes a really good GPU though. So that says 3 in stock. Oh. Dude, I don't even know what to tell you. You might just have to like remove the GPU, add everything else to cart, and then just go there knowing you need a 7900 GRE. Whichever one they have that matches the color scheme. Oops, I didn't mean to do that, actually, but sure. Let's just do this again. Let's try picking which of these has... None of them have that many in stock. All right, let's try the Gigabyte one here. Let's try that. And if we try adding a cart, it's just going to say that they're all not in stock. So just remove the graphics card, write down somewhere that you need a 7900 GRE, and then go to the store and see what they have there. Also, consider responding to me a little bit more frequently. There we go. But you did respond well with the case thing, which is one of the most subjective things, and I appreciate you doing that. It's only available in store log. Click the one that doesn't say buy in store. Which one of them says that? 2 in stock. Oh, the most expensive one. Yeah, okay. So that's it. It's because it says buy in store. Okay, so yeah. Here, let me give you this link, and then you can add it to cart. But then you can pick a lower priced GRE if you want to. Now, keep in mind, David, if you take too long to go there, a lot of this inventory could change. The pricing could change. Prices can go up, or maybe in the best case scenario, they could go down. Oh, forget that link. Forget about that link. I just thought of a really good thing to... Okay, so yeah, let's do this. Here. I'm going to push you up to a 2 terabyte drive, and when you get the lower priced GRE GPU, this should be closer to budget, okay? I do recommend the 2 terabyte drive, though. But yeah, you should actually be under budget because this is like $50 more or $60 more than the one I recommended. Okay, so that ASRock one should be just fine, and that one was $529. So you'll be back under budget with a 2 terabyte super fast high longevity drive. It's going to be great. Okay, let me give you this list. Forget that other one. Here you go. So you can forget that other link that I gave you, but I do need you to go in and add this to cart so that you have it there, because if I do another Micro Center build, I have to erase it if I do another Micro Center build tonight. And it looks like we got one in Tustin coming up right now. Oh, the 7900 GRE is a hot item. It's tons of performance for the price. Look at this. It's up here beating out right there with the 4070 Ti, which costs a lot more, approaching the 4070 Ti Super. It is closer to the 7800 XT than it is to the 7900 XT, but the price is really nice on it. All right, David. Sorry I threw 3 links at you, but I just wanted to make sure you can add it to cart and have your whole build there, okay? And I'm sorry if the music was too loud to be part of your build. I feel bad about that. Okay, next person is going to be Love Taste. So what's up? Are you here? Are you ready to go? And Doc Illa, you're after that. Unless someone else comes in and says, hey, I'm on the list and they're earlier, we're going through it in order now. I am probably going to cut off at 11 Central. That means I have an hour and 10 minutes left. So we're going to try to speed it up a little bit, but I'm not rushing anybody. All right, you're here? Cool. Basti Noodles, Braythorn, is it an okay idea to get the Monster Hunter Edition RTX 4060 Ti 8 gig? Are you just getting that because of the branding on it? Because of the collab? Because if that's the case, a 4060 Ti, if you can get something a little better, get something a little better. It's going to cost you extra just because of like the appearance of it. But if you're a big Monster Hunter fan, who am I to say that that's not a value? Value is subjective. And whether it's a good idea or not, I have no idea because I don't know what you're using your PC for. If you're trying to do 4K gaming, it's a terrible idea. If you're trying to do 1440p gaming, well, it's still not that good of an idea. Look at where the 4060 Ti hangs out in comparison to an actually usually cheaper 7700 XT. Turn on ray tracing and these numbers will even out a bit, but not completely. Okay, Love Taste, let's take a look at your build now, okay? So, we're going to the Tustin, California Micro Center. We're doing another parts list, so no build fees necessary. That's nice. Higher budget here, 2,500 here. Very cool, okay. Which, that gives us just a little more leeway. I'm going to be honest. In a way, I enjoy doing tighter budget builds because I have to really think and plan and try to min-max it as much as possible. I would, like, if I were buying a PC, I'd be more in this range myself right here. So just to be clear, I say higher budget, not like it's just a fact that I'm looking at here, that I'm digesting here. Parts list, Tustin, California, gaming and coding / game design. Okay, I'm going to ask you a question that I've been asking everybody who comes into the coding and game design thing. Is it Thor? Did Thor put you up to this? Is it Pirate Software that's got you wanting to do this? That dude blew up, man. And it's all that short form content. Man. I really need to step it up on that. And by step it up, I mean do any at all. All right. I'm going to wait for David. I'm going to wait for David to come back and say that you have it added to cart, David, because otherwise I'm about to clear it out right now. No? Okay. He's getting so many people to like dive into game design. So I thought maybe that might be it. Basta Noodles, I'm going to show you something right here. If you're looking for actual help that's going to be suited to you and your use case, fill that out right there. Get on the list. I'm not going to do that many more tonight. Just a couple more tonight. Because I'm ending it a little early. It's a holiday, you know. I don't want to end at midnight. I want it to still be 4th of July for about an hour when I'm done. And it's so that would be 11 p.m. Central, and it is currently 9:54 p.m. But okay, David, let me know when you got that added to cart, buddy. Can't really move on until you do, otherwise it's gonna get erased. Easy Jake Oven, I mean, that's already being done. And I grew the way, my early growth is because I was doing something no one else has done. My growth has slowed down because the market slowed down. Make no mistake. The market for pre-builts, like the industry, had a massive slowdown across the board. We used to be in here, like just streaming on Twitch, we'd have over 100 people at any given time. And now we'll do 50, 60, sometimes 70 people. But it would be like 120 people without any raids or anything. Because a lot of people were looking to get pre-builts. Now with the recession, slowed down quite a bit. So, but the thing is, you've got guys like Zach doing that better than I ever could. Toasty Bros do it. Scatterbolt does it. I don't know if he does short form. I don't think he does short form, actually. I think he has the same problem I do. Anyway, someone got caught with the more than a month from now thing, which clears out the rest of the form. If you're trying to buy a PC more than a month from now, you should come back more than a month from now, whenever you're getting ready to buy. What I should do, Easy Jake Oven, is I should figure out something that would matter to pre-built buyers. And it's gonna, it's not just about, like a lot of the min-maxing we do is with parts lists. With pre-builts, it's like you can't really make a lot of choices with some of these, especially if it's a pre-configured system. So it's going to be more like, all right, how not to get screwed over, what to do, just some of the rules that I follow. Like, I don't really recommend OEMs, and here's why. I prefer to go directly through the, I prefer to go directly to the SI rather than through a third-party seller, and here's why. Stuff like that. It's not really attention-getting, but it's more useful. Deal of the week, deal of the day / week from your fave SIs. That's not very evergreen. That's going to make people go and look for it, and then that deal's gone a couple days later. You see, I've been cranking through these ideas in my head and discarding ones like that. Like, I had an idea, like, why don't I do a deal of the week kind of thing? And it's only valid for that week. That's not content that's going to really grow for a long period of time. Now, this right here is going to be awesome for short form content, because I can start in on the process of doing it. And if you want some extra tips and tricks, or if you want the full process, check out the video linked in the bio, linked in the description, or whatever. That's going to be where short form content really becomes a part of what I do. All right, David's not telling me anything, so I'm going to go ahead and clear out that build. We waited long enough. If anything, you can use the VOD, Dave. You just use the VOD, show them the VOD at Micro Center, and we'll see what they say. Even though you can't hear everything I said, they can watch it. Now, we're going to Tustin. Previously their flagship store, apparently not anymore. Oh, they're getting one in Santa Clara. Where is that in California? Oh my God, the Bay Area is finally getting a Micro Center. Adam at PC World must be loving that. We were just talking about that. That is awesome. Yeah, earlier I was like, is stuff falling down in my room? Because I have IEMs in, which block out a lot of sound, but there's fireworks going on next door. Okay, now we're looking at a budget. Let's get back to this. A budget of $2,500. Love Taste, if I may ask, what is your actual maximum budget? Maximum budget for the system, not including taxes, not including your monitor, keyboard, mouse, all that stuff. The system itself before taxes, what's your budget for it? The maximum budget. We're doing a white build here. There you go, Crash. Gaming and coding / game design. We're going to need a good CPU in this thing. What's up, Faded? I agree with you. San Antonio does need a Micro Center, but Texas already has 2 of them. So we're probably not going to be... You got the build saved? Good, because I just erased it. Okay, 25, just as it says here, 2,500. Okay. let's go do our parts list then. Now, gaming and coding / game design does not require a lot of I/O. You basically need to be able to connect your keyboard, mouse, maybe a headset, your monitors, things like that. That's all that really matters. So we're going to look for a high-end Ryzen 7000 series bundle here, and they don't have one. They've got the 7900X. It's not my favorite 7000 series processor. So let's do one from scratch with a 7950X or 7950X 3D if they have it. Okay. Well, okay, that's interesting. Let's reload this. 7950X. There we go. So, no, I think for coding and game design, I think you can go with a 7950X 3D if they've got that. They do. So 16 cores, 32 threads. 8 of those cores have 3D V-Cache, so your gaming is going to benefit from that. But when you're just doing coding, then you're going to have all 16 cores and 32 threads. I doubt you're going to be gaming while you're coding, but I'll tell you this, okay? Do not set your code to compile and then go open up a game, because then the system is going to shut down. It's going to park 8 of your cores on that CPU. Let your code compile. Go walk away. Go make a sandwich. Okay? Mess around on your phone. Don't turn on a game while you're trying to compile code, because you're getting only half of your CPUs if you do that. Okay? Just a little tip for you. Okay. Let's see. What if we go by highest rating? What are we going to get? We are doing a white build, and of course, the X670E Aorus Pro X came up, and this is a gorgeous motherboard for a white build. Can we all just reflect on this real quick? Look at this motherboard for a white build. You don't get any better than that. Plus, one cool thing I always like to point out on these, the internal HDMI for if you want to put a sensor panel or internal screen for graphics or whatever, inside the case, you don't need to run a cable outside to the graphics card. You have it running off of the onboard graphics on the CPU. It's awesome. And for $279, heck yeah, look at the I/O on this. It's nuts. I mean, once you're getting up to around $300, you expect some good I/O anyway. So let's go ahead and select that. Unless there's a B650E option here, which there should be. No, just the B650. I would rather get you the B650E. Oh, it is there, and there's 3 in stock. B650E is probably all you need for what you're doing. It's the same thing, though. You have the gray and white PCB, you have the silver and white accoutrement on there. Doc Illa, I would prefer it if you be here to respond. You are next. So I'll call out to you if you're able to respond, and if you're able to take part in the build, awesome. But you are next. But these builds do take a little time. Let's go with the B650E Aorus Elite AX Ice. Let's go with that one. Let's save $50. You don't really need to save $50 at this point, but the I/O is the same. It still has that onboard HDMI. It has about the same storage. It's really, really good for the price. Let's get you some RAM. I'll probably still go 32 gigs of RAM. I don't know. Let's pick our memory speed and cast latency and see what pops up. That really narrows it down. Only Team Group has white RAM here, but that's fine. Let me ask you this, Love Taste. How do you feel about RGB? Are you going to want copious amounts of RGB? Moderate? Does it matter to you at all? What's the deal? Jay Green, that's exactly what I meant. with the VOD. And it's always cool to be able to go back and watch why everything was recommended, my methodology, all that stuff whenever you're getting your system. Okay, that settles it. There we go. Now, how do you feel about ray tracing? Is that important to you? Damn, that 4080 Super is pretty pricey. What are we doing? 1440p? 4K. All right. So 4080 Super, I hope, would be possible. Or if you don't care about ray tracing, we could always go with the 7900 XTX and save some money. Cherokee Vapors, you got to watch. You got to watch my Gigabyte video. Most of their new motherboards are coming out with 7-segment displays. And not to correct you, it is 7 though, but that's 7-segment display has been like a standard in digital displays in like for a very, very long time. Don't care too much? All right, AMD it is. I'll show you why real quick, and I have this up here for that reason. All right, let's go to 4K again. All right, so this is a 4080 Super and 4080 in standard rasterized graphics, no ray tracing, right? 7900 XTX beats it for less money. And if you care a lot about ray tracing, or if you're going to be streaming or something, then you go for the NVIDIA one because you'll benefit from that. But if you don't care about it, which you said you don't, then you're good. You don't have to worry about it. Do we have a white one available? We don't. Oh, well, I mean, I don't know what to tell you there. There doesn't seem to be a white one available, so... There's a two refurbished ones, and then they're not refurbished anymore. I'd like to get you a matching graphics card, but especially having that gorgeous white motherboard in there. But I'm not going to downgrade on the card. The performance is what matters the most. I do think the XFX has kind of like a little bit of a two-tone gray, so that's a little closer, I guess. We'll go with that. But it says it only has one in stock, so that might not actually be in stock. We'll have to see. 2 terabyte M.2, Inland Performance Plus, and they mean it when they say that. PSU, let's try to do 1,000 watts. MSI MPG A1000G, PCIe 5, ATX 3.0. Yeah, Cherokee Vapors, watch that video. It's the most recent video on the YouTube channel. It's just that it was just a wall of motherboards. You know how happy that makes me? And the next one coming out is the ASRock. Same thing, a wall of motherboards. I was having so much fun. It was very cool. We still have to get the case and the CPU cooler. More fireworks. Okay. You know what? I might put you in a 4080 Super after all. The performance is very similar, and the price is actually very similar as well. Like, they're right next to each other. For a 4K Ultra They're both right around 100 frames per second. So, and you do get benefits going with NVIDIA. So they were going after him with the 4080 Super, getting the price down to $1,000. Now, case time. So, Love Taste, let me ask you about the case thing. You do like the RGB, and that is duly noted. However, I need to know what style of case you like. Yeah, they don't have one in stock. I look for that specifically. What style of case do you like? Do you like the fish tank style case like this? Does that appeal to you? I built in the H6 Flow. It's an awesome case. But I need to know if this is appealing to you or not. Like if you like that look, or if you want the mesh front, if you want the more standardized kind of airflow. What do you think? Ricky Bobby says Amazon is a 4090 for $1,100. Here's the thing about Amazon versus Micro Center. Well, first off, I don't know how they have it for $1,100. Ricky Bobby, I wouldn't trust that. No one's trying to be a goody two shoes when it comes to GPU pricing. You need to be careful about third-party sellers, and it just doesn't seem right to me that it's $500 under retail. Okay, there's no 50 series in sight yet. We're looking at fourth quarter of 2024. If we're lucky, most likely first quarter of 2025. That's speculation, of course, based on some conversations I've had. And the other thing is, if you get it from Micro Center and it's DOA, you drive back to Micro Center and get another one. Crash, don't underestimate the cooling on this thing. It is awesome. It's very, very good. Let's go with one of these. Well, actually, I'm going to leave this up to you because I want to see if they have something that. Let's pick a white case. Let's narrow it down that way. That's 41 of these. Okay, then we're gonna. Okay, it's already expanded. Cool. I want to see if they have a specific option. They don't seem to. Okay, they ain't got it. I was looking for the King 95 Pro. They don't seem to have that one. Okay, so let's put these next to each other. And maybe that'll help you decide between the two. Because both of these come with some fans. This one comes with all the fans you need, which is really, really nice. And then there's this one, which is going to require buying some extra fans. But it is, in certain ways... Oops, I didn't mean to do that. In certain ways, a little better build quality, stuff like that. They're both good, though. I'm just going to put these both on the screen and zoom in on them. Okay. Between these two, which do you prefer? This one comes with all the fans you need. This one comes with 3, and you need to get 3 more fans. You need to buy 3 more fans to fill this one out. Which one do you prefer? I don't like to recommend the King 95 without the fans already in it, because you do need reverse flow fans for that case to really look good, in my opinion. Igor, I'm happy the adventure has come to an end. I hope you're comfortable in your new room. From the Gigabyte store. Well, thank you for passing that on. Appreciate that. I don't usually shop on Amazon when I'm streaming. They try to dox me at every turn. I'm not a huge fan of it. You don't mind buying more fans? Okay, cool. Now, if I was a betting man, and I'm usually not, but you know, I'm wondering if Gigabyte is responding to the fallout from their cracking PCB RMA nightmare that they got really bad PR for, and maybe people stopped buying their giant heavy cards because they're more likely to crack on the PCB side. Okay, I was going to do this. If we can do it. We should be able to, because we just need a cooler after this. Do that. And now you can get yourself a matching Gigabyte 4080 Super Aero that's going to match that motherboard beautifully. Or you can go with the Zotac one, which is not going to be as heavy. And then, hey, you don't have to worry about cracking PCB issues potentially. I would probably go with the Zotac one. Now you have a white build, like through and through. We just need to get you the all-in-one liquid cooler and go from there. And some fans too. Man, that thing is... No, it's about this. It's almost the same price as the 7900 XTX. Okay. And you can throw on DLSS 3.0. You can throw on your ray tracing, and you have nothing to worry about. Now, if they have the something like the Arctic Liquid Freezer 3, let's choose the colorway for this. If we can, they don't have that as an option. What if I just type in white? Okay, that narrowed it down. Yeah, they don't seem to have it as an option. They don't even have NZXT coolers here. That's crazy. NZXT cases, but no NZXT coolers. All right, Micro Center, sure. You can go with the Montech Hyperflow. That should look fine in there. And it should cool the 7950X 3D just fine. Now, to be clear, I did go more into the CPU here than necessary. Okay? And the reason for that is the coding/game design side of things. If this was just a gaming PC, it would be a 7800X 3D and a 4090. Period. But this is, you know, I wanted to make sure you had enough cores to where your coding and your compiling experience is that it's very capable of doing that, okay? If you want to, take this build and then hold off until the launch of 9000 series Ryzen processors and get yourself a 9950X when that comes out, and you'll have a great experience with that too. Probably better, actually, in the coding and compiling side of things. Now we're at 2459.92, and we need to add at least the bottom intake fans. So let's see if we got them. Choose fans, go to NZXT. We'll go 140 millimeter because we need the two 140 millimeter fans for the bottom. Oh, they got the reverse flow Montech fans in stock. That might be kind of cool in this case. And you have a Montech AIO, so that makes sense. Anyway, let's click NZXT, see what comes up. Okay. These are the exact fans you pretty much want, except they're not the duo ones. They're not going to look very good in there. Let's just go with the Montech ones, man. So you get two of these, okay? And these are reverse airflow. So what that means is you put the two bottom fans in, and you're going to see the pretty side of the fans, but it's still going to be pulling in air like it's supposed to, not blowing air out into the bottom. That doesn't make sense. So get these two, and they're $15 a pop. That's great. Get these two fans and put them in the case with the label side, with the Montech labels, the pretty side up. The back is going to have the four supports and the wires. Put it in pretty side up. That's how I always like to phrase that, and you'll be good to go. And with that, we are at an amazing budget of $2489 out of 2,500. We have min-maxed your PC for both use cases you listed. Dunion rings, baby. There you go. That's how it works. And that is going to be a gorgeous PC. So what you got to do, oh, by the way, one thing we're missing on this is the rear fan. It takes a rear 120 millimeter fan. If you want to do those, you can do that one fan. If you can do that. And I don't think they had a matching fan for that though. So you'd want to order that online and just get it that way. Get just a Montech 120 millimeter standard flow fan that looks like this one, and just add that in later on, or when you're doing your build or whatever. But there we go. That's it. Which Fallout are they responding to, Bray? Oh, yeah. Okay. All right. Yeah. 76 probably. I did a lot of Micro Center builds tonight. Like the lion's share of the builds tonight were Micro Center. And so is, oh wait, hold on. Okay, so that one might not be Micro Center. Wait, I must have missed adding one to that because I've done more than that tonight. It feels like. Unless I haven't. All right, Doc Illa, I know you got called into work, but are you able to communicate and engage for your build? You good? All right, I'll look at this. I'll look at this. Good Lord. Okay, made some changes here so I can actually show Amazon without doxing myself. Okay, so let's go look at the Gigabyte store because someone was very insistent that they have 4090s for $1,100. Looking at all their in the Gigabyte store for graphics cards, there are 3 4090s in here: 1912, 1790, and 1549. Look at the 1912 one. There's no coupon to add to cart here that would save you that much money. Not at all. It is 1900. Actually, it's not even available. It's not available. No fee, no offers available. Okay. 1790 for this 4090. And let's see. This one's 1599. I don't see anything to click to add a $500 discount. It's discounted from 1779 down to 1599. Cool. Not that one either. And this is your last option here. Last chance. 1549. And one left in stock and no discount to get it down by $450. So thank you for wasting my time. Good job. Okay. No, Ricky Bobby told me it was from Gigabyte Store, so that's where I looked. Ricky Bobby on YouTube said, from Gigabyte Store. That's what I looked at. If a store on Amazon that is not an official seller, a third-party seller, is selling you something that seems too good to be true, guess what, chat? It probably is. Or they're refurbished. Or they're previously mining GPUs, which doesn't always mean they're not going to work. But that's hardly what you want necessarily, right? I now have 2 people telling me to go look at that. I went and I looked because I was told it was in the Gigabyte store. It ain't there. So, all right, Doc Illa, let's do your build. Now, it says here, budget of $2,500. I know you said you wanted to do everything to the moon and back on this thing. Gaming, streaming, music production, racing sim, and flight sim. Now, what's the actual max budget for the system? You listed $2,500. But I've seen iBuyPower options that look okay. I like Micro Center, but I've seen iBuyPower options that look best for price. And you're in the Mayfield Heights, Ohio. You're near the Mayfield Heights, Ohio. Micro Center. Okay. Thank you, Triple B. Appreciate that. Thank you for the tier 1 sub. And yes, I think it looks pretty slick. I like it a lot. It's definitely got all that purple that I wanted. Search RTX 40. Okay, okay. Okay. Let me find another way to say this. Here, hold on. All right, let's go. Let's go look. I'll find another way to say this. Searched. Let's see. Search RTX 4090. RTX 4090. Am I looking good? I'm looking good. Okay. Okay. 1759, 1769, 1599, 1999, 2199, 1891, 1850, 1888. Let's find the one that's... I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm looking for it, and I want to see who the seller is. No options available. Oh, boy. This is what we're doing, chat. That's a 4080 Super, because Amazon's search options for tech are the worst. What is this? What is this? There's no pricing on these. And they're not Gigabyte anyway. Oh, there's a Gigabyte one. All right, here. Open link in new tab. Let's see what our options are. See all buying options. 18... None of them. Nothing under $1,800 there. Okay, going back. I'm taking you guys through the searching, okay? I'm searching with you. You can't post links in chat, so you can't link it to me. If you want to link it in the Discord, sure, I'll go look. This is a 3090 for $1,259. No one in their right mind should buy this, even though it's a For the Win 3 Ultra Gaming. Anything would run circles around this thing. I had a For the Win 3 Ultra Gaming 3090. I sent that to Cuddles. He has my beloved For the Win 3 card. Oh, EVGA, how we need you in this market. Okay, sold by TKF Electronics Store. If it's sold out already, I am worried about those people who gave $1,100 to a third-party seller. Have you guys not been warned enough about this? If it seems too good to be true, probably is. Is it worth $1,100 for a gamble? Are you willing to bet on that? You're willing to bet $1,100 that you're not going to get a box full of rocks, or maybe something that's just the cooling out the cooling solution with no GPU, no chip on the PCB or whatever. Who is that? Have you ever heard of that seller? I've never heard of them. Oh, they got a lot of reviews and a lot of stars. Did you read the reviews? If it's legit, congrats to whoever bought those. And I don't know what that store is doing, if they're a legit store, but they're not making money, that's for sure. No, Scotimus Prime, I just showed the Gigabyte store. It had 3 4090s, and they were all standard price or maybe $100 off. I did that live on stream. Are you guys done? It doesn't seem legit to me. How else can I paraphrase that? You're doing this right here. See that? You are doing this. You're rolling the die here. And most of those surfaces, most of those facets are going to have this lovely little number on them right here. Okay? You're never going to get me to recommend to people, especially my audience, mostly who are new to PCs, to make a gamble like that. I have a responsibility as a content creator. When people come to me and they get my input to where they're going to spend their hundreds or thousands of dollars, I will never push people to make a gamble like that. It's not exciting to me. It's scary to me, and it should be scary to you too. Oh, this seems like a really good deal. Okay, don't be the one that finds out. All right, I think we're done. There you go. Can I get back to helping the person who's been waiting the entire stream? I'd like to do that now. Look, I'm harsh sometimes because I need to be. It's exciting when you see something like that, okay? You need to temper that excitement because that can turn around really freaking fast to misery when you find out it was too good to be true. Maybe the bald dude on the internet was right, who's been doing this for a long time. I'm sorry, but that's the state of Amazon does not care. They do not care. They don't care like they're going to be like, "Oh, you took the GPU out and you put in the 3090 instead. You did that," or whatever. Because how do they know? There's no recourse for that. Very little anyway. So don't do it. I don't ever like to be like that, but sometimes I gotta be like that. And it's not for my enjoyment. I don't like doing that. It is uncomfortable for me to be like, hey, wake up. That's not real. It's very unlikely that that's anything real. So please, please shop carefully, okay? If you want something, be willing to pay for it. Don't try to cut corners because you're gonna end up getting burned. Even if it's not this time, it'll happen eventually. And I don't want to see that happen to you guys. I like y'all. Araxnus says, I miss the stream so much for more reasons than one. This is one of those reasons. People potentially getting scammed, basically, and walking into it smiling. Like, I tricked the system. No. The system is built to trick you. And the house always wins. That's why I do what I do. Okay. Now, Doc Illa, let's get to your build, okay? You want to do gaming, streaming, content creation, gaming, streaming, music production, and racing sim / flight sim, okay? And you talked about this right here. This is something noteworthy right here. You want it within a week. So there's a downside to this. If you go with someone like iBuyPower, you can get a ready system from iBuyPower, but it is not going to be configured properly for the use cases you have. They will put all of the value into the GPU and the CPU. For ready systems, it's the smart thing to do. They cut corners on the motherboard to where it's great for a gaming system, but not good for a music production system. I've done amateur music production. You need a lot of I/O on that. You need a ton of RAM on that. How many plugins are you going to have? How many VSTs are you running in there? How many instruments are you going to have? How many tracks at once, right? You can't have that stuttering if you're trying to do, say, live record a vocal track, and it's like stuttering on you. You can't do that. Nothing will kill the creative flow like an underperforming machine. Well, Ready Systems actually, I think, in many cases are better than the ones you find at Best Buy, because Best Buy has to get a cut and iBuyPower still has to profit. So even more has to be cut out of that. So especially if you're putting it on display. I've seen, okay, let me, no. We'll do this discussion after. Doc Illa, we got to get you taken care of, okay? So what the best route to man, if you go with the Micro Center system, you might be able to get a killer deal on a bundle. And we'll look at their bundles real quick. But if you get a bundle, you can't choose your motherboard. $2,500 should take you pretty far at Micro Center, but then consider the fact that you're going to have to pay $100 to $250 just for the build fee, but it is a same day build fee. That's why it's so expensive. And then to get a warranty on there of any note is like another $250. So $500 of your budget goes down the drain. So whatever you saved on hardware pricing, bye-bye. So what is the right course of action here? I think the right course of action is to go right back to the builder that I have here. But here's the thing, Doc Illa, you're going to have to be okay with it not coming in 1 week, because we're going to get it custom configured for your needs, okay? Does that sound okay? Well, I'm just going to have to go for it then if you can't respond to me. I'm just going to do a build for you. Based on what you put in the form, it has to be enough. And this is going to be the last build of the night. I know that means that I'm going to lose viewers, but I don't want to give you guys the wrong expectations that I'm going to be here for the full time. It is a holiday. It might be the last build of the night. It's only 10:35. I might be able to do a quick one if there's a quick one to be had. We're already at 2733 on here because we went with the 7900 XTX. We're not doing 4K here like we were on the previous one. We're doing 1440p. So we don't need a 7900 XTX. We can drop the price on the GPU. We're not doing anything. Well, we're doing streaming, right? So we do need to go with NVIDIA to have the smoothest streaming experience. And it's $100 off for 4070 Super, minus $405 there. We need to apply that to, what do we have, 7800 X3D? Not ideal for what we're talking about here. So I would say, yeah, it's only $14 more for a 7900 XTX with 4 more cores. You're going to take a dip on the gaming performance here, but it's going to help you with music production. We have to balance it out. It has to be perfectly balanced, as all things should be. We do get a solid discount, though. And you've already got a really nice motherboard with tons of I/O here. Look at this. Imagine plugging your audio interfaces into this, all of that stuff. The only thing that's missing here is SPDIF, SPDIF, right? But you do have a dedicated line in, and you have a lot of high-speed USB here, including 20 gigabit per second Type-C for something like, a Rodecaster Pro 2 or some kind of audio interface, a Scarlett audio interface, something like that, whatever you're using, okay? That Type-C is going to be your main connection for that, very likely, if it's a modern audio interface, okay? For streaming, though, you have these blue and red connectors, Type-A connectors. The blue ones are 5 gigabit per second for a lot of Elgato devices. And then your red ones can be capture cards, things like that, and like higher-end capture cards, and then you shouldn't have a problem with that, okay? The black connectors here are USB 2.0, and those are going to be slower, but they're for your mouse, keyboard, headset, stuff like that. Although you're not going to use a headset, you're going to use your cans going into. By the way, since you're into music production, you might appreciate this. These are my reference cans right here. I got the DT770 Pro 250 ohms right here from Beyerdynamic. They can get a little hot because I need to get some new cups for these. And they're a little hard to drive, but with the Rodecaster Pro 2, it's not a problem. Anyway, sorry. Back to work here. Anyway, I like the close back for reference audio. Anyways, let's get to this. So that's a great motherboard for what you're doing, plus 4 M.2 sockets on there, so lots of room for storage. Now, the drive we have on this already, this was a system I configured for somebody else, but we're changing it up for you. 4070 Super is going to get this thing in price range here. You're looking at 1440p So you're totally fine with a 4070 Super, okay? That's a mid-high-end card right there. It's a holiday, go shoot off some fireworks and eat all the barbecue. I have neither of those, but I'm okay with that. How do you drive headphones? They got to be really big, really big headphones. They got to fit a person in there, maybe 3. I don't know. I've got nothing funny for that. I'm sorry. I'm still online, but my brain has probably ended stream already. We're already looking at a 1,000 watt power supply. That's actually a little over what you need, but it's not that much more. For this Seasonic Focus V3 GX, this is a really nice power supply, and it is only $22 more than the 850 watt Be Quiet. So I would stick with this. Let's look at the case, though. Case, come in here and pick whichever case you really like. The only ones I will not recommend to you are the height cases, okay? The height Y40, Y60, and Y70 are too limiting for something where you might be putting in a PCIe add-in sound card or something. You don't want that, or a capture card, because they only allow for you to put in low-profile PCIe cards, the really low-profile ones. And find that for an audio card, for a sound card. Let me know how that goes. And there are only a few capture cards that work with that, okay? And if you're running multiple cameras, you can't put in a Cam Link Pro, which is what I would recommend at that point. So something like the King 95 Pro right here for -$5 is going to look really good. It looks absolutely sick. Lots of RGB. If you're going to have this thing as part of your set for streaming, you want the King 95 Pro, I would say. That'd be a good case for this. And it has full height PCIe slots on that, so you're good to go. 32 gigs of RAM. Here's what I'm going to say about that. 64 gigs is what I would put for music production. You never want to run out of RAM when you're running a very complex complex project with a lot of audio tracks on it, a lot of instruments on it, samples, all that stuff. That lives in your RAM while that project is open, and you need to have memory available. But I don't like the pricing for the 64 gig kits. Regardless, though, I'm going to put one in there. And it's okay because, like, you've already got 2 terabytes of storage to start with. You're going to want to put in more storage over time. You're going to need that, okay? And you're going to want to, like, dedicate a drive to having all your audio projects on it, your samples, your instruments, all that stuff. Separate that from your boot drive. And you can get some really well-priced 4 terabyte drives from Inland. The Inland Performance Plus 4 terabyte is like, I don't know, around $300 and or less than that, like $289, something like that. I don't know pricing right now off the top of my head, but that's probably what I would look for. But you've already got a really good boot drive in here. I'm actually going to drop $29 by going to the 2 terabyte Western Digital Black SN850X, which is $15 off right now, and around the same performance as the Kingston Fury Renegade. I think the Kingston Fury Renegade just has a little bit better longevity, but you'll probably never write enough to this to actually test that longevity. The only thing I'm doubtful about here is that 7900X. I'd rather give you the 16 core instead of the 12 core, but consider this. You can run anything you want on this system, music production wise. What was the other use cases? Racing sim, gaming, streaming, all of that on this 12 core CPU. And then give it about a year after 9000 series CPUs have been out and go to like a 9950X. The prices will have dropped by then, and you'll get a nice boost in performance, plus 16 cores, 32 threads. There you go. All right. I'm 2 minutes behind, but awesome. The level of connectors for the interface are excellent. I don't have them on my current build. You see the excitement there? I get that because I was in that situation and it sucked. Excellent Bear headphone. Absolutely, they're really good. Can I have iPad Power put in the capture card and PCIe card for interfaces? Not the PCIe card for USB. And they also don't have a capture card option here. But it's plug and play. You literally open the case, take off the little PCIe cover, socket that in there, okay? With your system completely off and the power supply switched off, okay? You put that in there, you put the screw in there, you close it up, you turn on your system and install your Elgato software, and then you're good to go. That's all it takes. One thing I also like about this motherboard as well, all right? And like, this is just the kind of stuff that I really enjoy, okay? Look at how much PCIe expansion you have here, okay? Look at that. Now your GPU is it's gonna block off this X1 connector here, but these two PCIe X16 slots are actually gonna be probably X4, and that's fine for most audio interfaces. The CamLink Pro that I use has 4 HDMI 4K 30 HDMI inputs, and it only requires PCIe X4 2.0, PCI 2.0 X4. So like, this has a lot of expansion capabilities here. You have 3 more M.2 sockets available for expanding your storage. This is a great motherboard, and all it adds to the build to go from the basic one to this is $19. And the King 95 Pro is going to look sick in your setup, okay? Like, if you have that somehow in your main camera angle, people are going to be talking about it all the time. I thought 64 gig is better. That's what I put in. I put 64 gigs. It's right here. On memory, 64 gigs, DDR5 6000. Yeah, no, this is going to be full of fans. It's going to have everything you need already in there. It's going to be full of fans. It's going to have 3 fans on the AIO, and it's going to have 2 fans on the side as intake, 3 fans on the bottom as intake, and then 1 on the rear as exhaust. Plus, you'll have 3 on the radiator as exhaust in the top. You don't have to worry about adding any fans. But I will say this: it's going to be good if you become accustomed to putting in your PCIe cards yourself, because then you can do things like reseating them if they're having issues and things like that. But I'm going to say this build is good. The only thing that you might consider is whether you want to go with the 7950X or not for $247 more. And that's going to come down with my discount. Let's see how much the higher end CPU brings the price up to with the discount included. Okay. We're taking a look real quick. All right. It's $25.99 and 20 cents. $99 above your listed budget. That's with a 16-core, 32-thread CPU. Estimated ship date for this is the 11th of July. So it's a little over a week, but not by much. If anybody wants those DT770 headphones, get the 80 ohms version if you don't have any special equipment to drive them. That's very good advice. Those work just fine on mostly any motherboard, onboard audio. Those can run on a phone. You can plug it if you have a headphone jack, or if you have one of those adapters, you could run that off of your phone. That's fairly low resistance. Impedance, actually. Excuse me. I said resistance. I meant impedance. Please, please don't be mad at me. Araxness, please. It's the same thing. Let me get you your build. Look, it's been a while since I was really into the audio stuff. You can't really stop being into audio if you do streaming. But I got something really interesting coming up. I might be getting rid of my Rodecaster Pro 2 in favor of something much more simple. Clean up my setup a little bit. I'll probably still have it somewhere in the room for when I do, like, I have the streaming system over there. But I'm still gonna I can still do these streams off of this PC sitting at this desk. I can still do that because it's a very simple stream. Anyways, I'm thinking when I say streaming PC, I mean for like unboxing and review and lots of cameras going into it, all that kind of stuff. So Doc Illa, I'm gonna send you this build with the 7950X3D. Okay, that's going to come out to $2,599 after my coupon code takes 5% off. Before taxes, I think shipping is free on this. Anyway, you'll find out soon enough. Okay, now this is not going this is going more CPU than GPU here. But if you're doing 1440p, the 4070 Super will do it. You need that CPU for your music production. You got to trust me on that. It helps a lot. But if you want to fiddle with the build, you can still customize it after I send you the link. No problem. Happy to help. And here's the code. That's 5% off right there. There's no, I don't know if it came out with a space. It looks like it did. It's just, there's no space there. It's just Braithorn 6. No space. If you want to get it under that $2,500 budget, just switch it to the 7900X, okay? Heck, if you want, you can run a 7800X 3D and do music production if you really want to, okay? It's just not going to be as good. And you can do that to really focus more on the gaming side of things and the racing sim, flight sim side of things. If that's what you want, you can do that. It's going to cost less, too. However, you'll be making a sacrifice when it comes to only having 8 cores, and they're at a lower frequency because of the 3D V-cache. And you can't overclock those either. So, with all that in mind, you might, if you go that route, then you're saving money on your CPU, getting better gaming performance, and you can then put the extra money that you save over towards upgrading to 9000 series Ryzen, like the 9950X, and wait like half a year after that comes out to save some money. This thing will do what you want for now. It's just if you run way too much at once, your CPU is gonna be like, yo, I don't have enough cores and threads for this. Calm down. Anyway, but there's your build. Let me go ahead and add it to the list here. Doc Illa, thank you for your patience there. I appreciate that. I know you're working. I hope this is helpful. Come back through and watch the VOD later. This depends on if streaming catches Steam. Oh yeah. I feel you. Well, here's the thing. It could go for a year or two with never catching Steam, and then suddenly it blows up. You never know. If you're gonna be working on music and that's what you're gonna be streaming, awesome. Not many people do that. And that can help. If you're going to be doing gaming streams, it could take off in a week, or it could take off in a year or 3 or something like that. But I figure if you're going to be gaming anyway, get used to streaming to nobody. Streaming to 0 and just talking as you're doing stuff, that's just good. If you've never really done anything content creation or streaming wise, you got to get used to this. You have to get used to talking to a camera that's not reacting to you. That's not a normal thing for people to just be used to all of a sudden. No one's good at that right away. So, just do it. It's a skill that I think can come in handy anyway, regardless. It can help with learning to carry a conversation when someone else isn't really much part of it, things like that. Presenting things to people, things like that. I mean, it's just good. I came into that already having some performance experience on stage and on camera and stuff like that, but very few people do. Just do what's fun for you, be yourself, or be a character if you want, and just have fun with it. People notice when you're having fun. You guys know that I have fun doing this, right? That's why some of y'all aren't shopping for a pre-built and you come in anyway, and man, that is the best. Thank you. That's a great point. As well as streaming while I create the music live. Can't wait to use the old PC as my streaming dedicated rig through a cap card. Hey, that's a good idea too. Absolutely. Law, it's me. I'm just here to hang. Deathly Nightshade, thank you for the lurk. Lurks are always appreciated. I hope you have fun doing this. I do. I feel like that should come through. That should be that should be, I think, self-evident. That I do have fun doing this. When I'm not feeling it, I'll be like, guys, I'm tired. I'm not feeling it. I'll still keep going, but I'll let you know. If I'm snippy or if I'm extra sassy or whatever, I'll let you know. That's the best way to be. Enjoy what we do. Check out my music if you like hip-hop or new age stuff. New age stuff, huh? Well, you can check out my music then if you want. I have 3 tracks on SoundCloud. Hope you like modern orchestral. Doc Illa, join the Discord. That can be a place where you share your stuff too. I have played my music on stream before. I'm not going to do it again. Man. I'm not going to play another 10.5-minute modern orchestral track for you guys. Don't worry. You already know how to spell my name, and you know where SoundCloud is. You can go check it out if you want. All right, guys. I'm playing Fallout 4, watching Star Trek Voyager with my wife in Discord, and watching your stream. That's awesome. TNG was my Star Trek growing up. But yeah, Voyager's cool. All right, guys. Follow the Rune Lords is my personal fave. Thank you, Triple B. I appreciate you. For me, it's the story behind it. The other two, they're not as polished. And even, okay, I'm going to tell you, Doc Illa, my mixing and mastering sucks. I don't have the ear for it. I never did. Why does Vault Boy have Todd's hair? I wonder. So I've been down a rabbit hole looking for that 4090, huh? Excellent series. TNG is king, but I enjoyed Voyager. Good night. Okay, guys, if you're over on Twitch, let's see how many viewers we got here right now. How many people in chat? 26. Let's raid somebody. Stick with me. Let's do a raid. Let's bring the positive vibes to somebody else on this 4th of July. It's still 4th of July here for another hour. So we're going to bring this to somebody else. Let's see. Okay. All right. Well, Zach is streaming, but I really feel bad because he raided me with like 400 people. And I feel bad rating with 26. And you guys are awesome. Like, it's more quality over quantity with y'all. But I think what'll happen is when I do a stream where I'm doing a giveaway or something, that's when I'm going to raid Zach. Hopefully he's streaming then. Because then we'll get a few hundred people in here and that'll be fun. But let's raid Duty Beard. I hope y'all like chaos. Because that is what Duty brings to the table. I mean, the name is Duty Beard. Come on. So let's go do that raid. I appreciate y'all for hanging out for so long. Thank you so much. Don't leave right when I ask you to stay. That's not good. That's not cool. It doesn't exist? Huh? What? I'll offer free collaboration on a final mix. I would have to spend probably a week trying to find the file, reinstall Studio 1.4, and get stems produced. I don't have stems for it. I wasn't professional enough at the time to know that I needed to do that. But that's very cool of you, though. Tech Blacksmith, thanks, Braither, for helping everyone out tonight. Thank you. Marcus Alvarado. What's up, Marcus? Thanks for streaming today. Happy 4th of July, everybody. Thank you. And for those of you who want to be part of the raid, jump on over to Twitch and let's do this. Duty Beard is genuinely a really cool dude. Look, when I'm not streaming or doing video stuff, I cuss like a sailor. I don't know why I never cuss in my content. You guys are, you're on the internet. You hear it all the time. So I don't do that. It's just a thing for me when I'm live. He does, and many other streamers do. So fair warning if that's something that would bother you. But also, we're in for some chaos here. Okay, so if chaos bothers you, maybe mute the stream, say something nice, and just hang out. This is a very, very unique and fun individual we're about to raid right now. So please come along with me. Let's go do that. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. I appreciate y'all. And happy birthday, America. Thank you so much for hanging out, guys. I will see y'all on Sunday for a gaming stream on Twitch only, just on Twitch. So come and join me for that. And until then, take care.
Let's go, nerds!